Welcome to Ariel Helwani's MMA Show!
Back in your life on this Monday, April 8, 2019. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ariel Helwani. Welcome back to the program. Hope you had a lovely week. Hope you had a lovely weekend. It was a rare, quiet one in the world of MMA. No UFC, no Bellator, no One Championship, no PFL. No shortage of crazy things were going on, just not really in mixed martial arts. That doesn't mean there isn't a lot going on in the world of mixed martial arts, just no events. And like I said, a rare weekend off for the UFC. That train picks up this weekend in Atlanta, UFC 236. I do that all the time with that thing. Maybe I'm going to move it right over there. UFC 236 in the ATL, Hotlanta, the Dirty South, all those places you can call Atlanta, I think, those names. 2 interim titles on the line. We've got 2 interim title fights. This has never happened before. History will be made on Saturday. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier, number 2, and also Israel Adesanya versus Kelvin Gastelum. We'll talk about that throughout the show. Also, this past weekend, I must admit, I'm a little tired today. You know why I'm tired? Because I went to WrestleMania. And you know how I complained about the shows going too long, the MMA shows? Well, this brought me back to the old era because this show ended at 1 a.m. It was brutal. On a Sunday night, why does it have to be so long? I had a lot of fun. It was at MetLife Stadium. I witnessed history as Becky Lynch became the first female champ in WWE history, second Irish combat sports person to become a champ in the tri-state area. A very cool moment, but golly, was it long. I am tired. But it was fun. Congratulations to all involved. Kofi Kingston, that was cool. So I did that on Sunday. I watched BKFC on Saturday. Artem Lobov and Jason Knight had a war. I mean, that was the true definition. The closest thing to a quote-unquote war that you'll see in combat sports. Did you see the photos of Artem Lobov and Jason Knight's face after the fight? I mean, they really did look like the Chucky doll with the scratches everywhere and the stitches. It was brutal. In the end, Lobov wins via decision, sets up the big fight against Paulie Malignaggi, June 22nd, later on this year. I'm still not quite sure what to make of BKFC, to be honest. It just seems a little too much for me, but they definitely have something going with Artem Lobov and Paulie Malignaggi. 2 new main events for the UFC later on this month. Alexey Oleynik is stepping in on short notice to fight Alistair Overeem April 20th in St. Petersburg. And April 27th now has a new main event as Jack Hermanson, who we just saw compete 9 days ago in Philadelphia. He defeated Dave Branch. He's now stepping in to replace the sick Yoel Romero. He's going to fight Jacare Souza, April 27th, sunrise. All right, let me run down the lineup, and then we'll get to our first guest of the day, who's joining us from the airport in Chicago. So whenever he's ready, I'll get to him. Let me just run down the lineup very quickly here. In the 3 o'clock hour, we're going to be joined by that man, Chael Sonnen, my partner, Ariel the Bad Guy, ESPN Plus. He's going to be in studio. He's coming to Bristol. Yes, he's made the trek. You may have heard last week, broke the news, June 14th, Madison Square Garden, New York City. It's Chael Sonnen versus Lyoto Machida. So he's here to talk about that and more. I think he's also going to Atlanta with me, so it'll be fun. Dillon Danis will also be in studio at around 3 o'clock. Looking forward to having him here. He's got some stuff he wants to talk about. Alexey Oleynik, the aforementioned Alexey Oleynik, the boa constrictor, will be on at 2:45. Talk about stepping in on short notice to replace Alexander Volkov. Mike Perry has found love again. He's also fighting April 27th. We'll talk to him, Platinum Perry. We're going to talk to Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse, at 2:05 about his debut in One Championship. We'll also talk to Jack Hermanson, the aforementioned Jack Hermanson, at 1:50 about stepping on a short notice to fight one Jacare Souza. Artem Lobov is going to join us to talk about that war against Jason Knight. We'll also talk to Alistair Overeem and... No, that's it. Alistair Overeem. Sorry. The whole lineup got mixed up and now I'm confused. Let's go to our first guest of the day. He's joining us in the airport, Chicago. He's on his way to Atlanta. There he is. The last style bender. What a mensch. He actually took some time out as he's about to board his flight. Izzy, how are you?
I'm gravy, man. I'm gravy. You know how it is with these airports and reschedules. I'm not even in ATL yet. I was supposed to be there last night, but yeah, things happen, so we'll just keep moving.
What happened? Your flight got delayed? You missed your flight?
The flight got delayed. We're on the track when we landed in Chicago for about 45 minutes, and then the lift or whatever broke down, and everyone missed their connecting flight, so they put us up here for the night. And yeah, on my way to ATL now, hopefully.
Okay, so it's always stressful when you're flying and things get delayed and you have to sleep somewhere random, but you're about to fight for your first UFC title. Are you stressed right now? Is this adding to your stress?
Dude, I lived in China, man. I lived all around China, not in the mainland. So that I've been through a lot in my fight career. I've had to sleep. Even one time they bunked me with my opponent, and after I knocked him out in the first round, I didn't stay in that room that night. I just stayed with someone else because I felt like I wasn't safe in that room with him that night. So I've been in some worse situations. This is nothing.
Wow, they actually roomed you with your opponent and expect you to sleep with him after you guys fought?
I had no idea it was my opponent until the weigh-in, and I was like, wait, what? We're fighting? And then after the knockout, I realized, well, he turned on me, obviously, so yeah. I've handled worse. This is nothing new. This is just, I just get to hang out a little bit more in Chicago. But next time I'll hang around properly.
Okay, fair enough. I can't believe that I'm talking to you again about a fight that you're having this weekend after the fight you just had, it seems, with Anderson Silva, and you're fighting for the belt. Like, all this happened so fast. In a perfect world, would you have preferred to have a little more time after that Anderson fight?
No, I had enough time to chill. Like I said, I get itchy knuckles and itchy feet real quick. So, yeah. And also the opportunity as well. Sometimes you can't say no to certain opportunities because it just makes sense. And now, like I said, I lived in China. I was fighting a lot in China. I fought over 20 times in 1 year. So this is easy work for me. And after this fight, I think Robert says he wants to go in August. So that'll be my longest layoff in a long time. So, yeah, my body's feeling ready. Mind's feeling ready. And I just want to get this whole week in the media shit done, weigh in, and have some fun.
Last time I spoke to you, you said no interim belt. I'm not down with the interim title. You are fighting for an interim title. What happened?
Plans change. You gotta move and adjust, adapt and overcome. So that was me trying to campaign that Robert, because look, in the last 3 years, how many times he fought? 3 times or 2 times. In the last year, I fought more times, and yeah, I just feel don't worry about that. That's gone now. Like, I'm fine for the interim title now. And the way I look at it with the new belt system, I get to have 2 belts.
Okay. Did they have to convince you, or you kind of just figured it out on your own?
Not really. A little bit. Things happen behind the scenes. Yeah, a little negotiations and whatnot. But yeah, we got what we wanted, and I'm getting the belt in my next fight.
They greased those palms? GDP, you got that paper? Yeah. Is that what happened?
It's not just about paper. Not everything is about money, even though I like the money. But yeah, we the perks are nice. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay. First class from New Zealand.
A lot of things that included, but also other things as well.
Well, it's well deserved.
Coming over to help me out. Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. So all right. So you have this fight, and it's against Kelvin. It's for the interim title. But you just mentioned Robert, so I have to ask you about him. When he was on the show last, he came on the show after recovering from the surgery. Finally, for the first time, I felt like Robert was throwing a little shade your way. He said he wasn't all that impressed with what you did against Anderson, and that you haven't fought. And then we had Jacare come on. He's like, "Who's this guy, Adesanya?" It's like the haters just continue to congregate around you. But I feel like you strike me as the kind of guy who enjoys that. Like, you don't want to really be loved by your peers in your weight class. Am I wrong?
I don't really care. I've been in the sauna with Jacare. He had nothing but nice things to say to my face. I've seen Robert around, don't say anything to my face. He shakes my hand and then keeps it moving. So when they get all Twitter fingers, it doesn't really mean shit to me. It's like, well, you could have said that to me when I was in your face. But that's their own opinion. And at the end of the day, everyone has an opinion, like assholes.
Right. So you feel like what they say to you in person or how they act to you in person is more indicative of how they really are. And when they say that other stuff behind your back or not when you're there, that's just, puffing your chest out.
I have no problem saying something. Exactly. I have no problem saying anything like, I learned something from my trainer Eugene a long time ago. Like you have to be a man of your word when you talk. And if I want to say something, even in my personal life, if I'm bitching about someone within the next 3 days or a week, I'll make sure I say it to them the way I feel. So I don't like to talk about someone behind the keyboard or when they're not there to defend themselves or bring back a counter argument or whatever. So anything you can say, they can say to my face next time they see me.
I heard that if you win, the plan is to have you fight Robert late July, early August in Australia. Have you heard the same?
I mean, through the grapevine, the streets are talking. So yeah, I heard things.
How big of a deal would that be, do you think? Like, what kind of stadium are we talking about? Are we talking about Etihad?
I think they're looking at Sydney or Brisbane. I'm talking 80,000 seater.
Whoa.
Something crazy. Yeah. It probably could be the biggest sporting event in Australasian history. But, all that gets scrapped if I don't get past this weekend. That's why I'm 100% focused on this weekend.
Do you find yourself sometimes dreaming about that moment because it would be so big, but then having to remind yourself that you have a big, task on your hand this weekend in Atlanta?
Yeah, it's a balance. Normally during fight week, I don't really ponder those ideas because I'm in fight week. But before fight week, I peek, I look, and I plot past that as well. So I know. I see. This is chess, not checkers. I'm moves ahead. Era. I've picked all my fights in the UFC, every single one of them, without them even realizing. Every single one of them I've picked, and I'm steps ahead. So whenever I'm looking at these guys and the way the board looks, I feel like I'm sitting pretty.
Would you agree that Kelvin Gastelum is the toughest MMA fighter you've ever faced?
No.
Who is?
The toughest MMA fighter I've ever faced. I don't know his name. I can't remember his name, but it was a Russian guy, and this was in China. Just because in the first round I battered him, and I had his back, and in hindsight I should have choked him out. I just beat him for like 2 minutes from the back till I felt bad maybe like a month after because I realized, man, I could have choked him out. It kind of just popped in my head. And the second round I just TKO'd him when they threw in the towel because he was really tough. Calvin's tough as well. Everyone says he's got a granite chin and this and that, rah. But the problem is he hits his guys. That's it. He hits them. A lot of his guys don't have any footwork. They just stand there and get hit, and his body gets a reaction. He gets feedback from his fists when they land. For me, I've done this to many guys where they swing and hit fresh air, then they get discouraged, they get gassed. And I'm not one of those guys like a heavyweight who just stand there. I actually have footwork. Some of these guys might not have heard of it, but footwork is what helps you. And a lot of things with combat sports, especially with striking and your defense. So, yeah, I would say we'll find out if he's the toughest guy. He can take this ass whooping, but I don't think so.
Was it Murad Kuramagomedov?
I can't remember his name. I fought a couple. I
remember that one against Murad back in China.
Yeah, you're watching.
I'm watching. I like that stare down that you guys had for several reasons. First of all, it really highlighted the height differential between the two of you. Yeah. Do you like that? Do you like having that kind of difference? Do you feel like this really plays to your advantage?
I like having the height difference. Yes, I do, because I get to play a little bit more with certain things. But yeah, it's not always an advantage if you can't use it. Because I fought guys who were as tall as me and a little bit taller, and I whooped their ass because I know how to use my height disadvantage on them as well. So, yeah, if he knows how to use it, great. But I have been using this for a long time, and same thing, different night.
I also love the shorts, I must say. I love that you were rocking the shorts up there. It was a little bit of business on top, casual on the bottom. It looked like you were just going out, the Las Vegas Strip just to chill. I literally came there for not even long, but one day. Then I went to Atlanta the next day. I think I did LA a day, Vegas a day, Ohio for a night, and Atlanta for a night, and then back to New Zealand. So that was a quick tour all around America. Was that your first time in Atlanta?
Yeah, that was my first time.
What did you think? Did you feel the love? Did the people know? Were they excited about the UFC coming and you coming?
Bits and pieces. Yeah, I was feeling the love, but not like crazy. I think this time, because it's fight week, I'll be feeling a lot more and a lot more eyes on me, I guess. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I know it's part of the gig, but I just want to get through this week,
Sure.
breeze through it,
Yeah.
get to the weigh-ins, and then get to the fight, and then good night.
If all goes well on Saturday, as you probably expect it to, you get that belt. Will you feel like a UFC champion? Like in the past, I've seen some fighters win the interim belt and like essentially give it back and say that this isn't the real belt. How will you view that title?
I've been the champion since I got here. I said that since day one, and a lot of people didn't believe me. So that wasn't my business. I believe me, and I just have to prove me right. So yeah, I've always felt like the champion, interim or not.
Okay. Wow. All right. So you'll feel like more of a champion than Robert is at this point. You probably think that they should have stripped him by now, and this should have just been an official title fight.
Dude, the guy fought twice, in 3 years. Imagine me as champion in 3 years, what I could do. My first year, look what I did in the UFC. Imagine me in 3 years, what I could do. And I actually work. I actually show up to work. And I actually, even though I don't like it all the time, I actually get all the media shit done. I actually, I actually perform. So yeah, he can fight. No, I'm just here to, I'm not here to talk. I'm here to fight. Yeah. Fuck out of here. Like, this is part of the game. This is how you become, immortal in this game. So yeah, I'm doing my part, and that's all I care about. He can stay over there and do that part.
Are you turning on us media people, Israel? Are you getting tired of us?
Oh, never.
I've seen this story play out before. I've seen it. Young, fresh face, loves it, eats it all up, and then slowly but surely the belts come, and it's like, yeah, change my number. Who's this again? Nah, I don't have time for this. Pay me. I've seen it all.
It's never about the belt. See, thing is, it's an experience, learning the game. So when I came in here, like any other gig, you come in bushy-tailed and bright-eyed. And over time, I realized, a lot of these people don't care about me. Then I have to kind of like be selective with who I want to give my energy to, because there's already like a few people I've blacklisted that I don't talk to anymore. They still try and hit up my manager. I'm just like, not him or not her, because but don't worry, you're in my good books.
Okay.
I appreciate you because you look time. You got time for me, and I got time for you, and we have a good working relationship. So this is business at the end of the day. This is business. So I can do my part if you guys can do yours. And I'm happy to play my part because I know it's part of the game. And this is what makes you into a international superstar. This is what brings us millions in. So I'm working and I'm enjoying it. Just sometimes, some people kind of just rub me the wrong way.
I feel
That's
you.
all.
I feel you. Well, I know you have a flight to catch now, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you for doing this, Izzy, especially in the midst of all this craziness with the travel. Safe travels to Atlanta, and I hope to see you there. Best of luck this week and on Saturday night.
Thank you, sir, and I'll probably see you in Atlanta.
Yes, I look forward to it. There he is, the last style bender. He meets Kelvin Gastelum for the interim middleweight title this Saturday on pay-per-view. Now, I told you at the top of the show, new main event for next weekend's card in St. Petersburg. It was supposed to be Alistair Overeem against Alexander Volkov. It's now Alistair Overeem against Alexey Oleynik. Let's talk to the Reem, who is joining us from Denver, Colorado, where he is training for this fight. There he is. Alistair, how are you?
Hey, yeah, I'm good.
Wow.
I'm a bit in a hurry. You're making me wait.
I'm sorry. We had a bit of an issue there. I appreciate you doing this. So you have a new opponent, Alistair. What do you make of this change? How did you feel when you found out about it?
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I don't have a bad feeling about it. I was geared for Volkov. It's a completely different opponent than Alexey. Alexey is Volkov is strike. It's like entirely different. For the top guy, got sparring partners for that, blah, blah, blah. It's not a different fight, but, I'm in a great shape. I don't give a damn. Let's go.
Okay. Did you hear what happened to Volkov? Did they give you a reason why he's out?
No. So, health reasons, but then you hear some USADA stuff.
Yeah.
I was talking to Luke Thomas about it yesterday. he mentioned the same. You saw the stuff, but not confirmed. Some Russian website was posting on that. So I don't know.
You don't care at this point. You're moving on.
You are talking to the wrong person to ask that question.
Yes.
You need to be talking to Volkov. Where is he?
That is a good question. I've asked him and his team what these quote-unquote health issues are, and I haven't gotten anything back yet. So I was just curious. I mean, health issues is a very broad statement. I thought maybe they informed you what was going on.
Very broad.
Yeah.
On his Instagram, he is stating that it's not health issues. So I don't know.
Jeez. Well, now something is very fishy here, Alistair. Okay, I'm going to look into this. So you get a different opponent, but you're still fighting a Russian in Russia. How do you feel about that?
I feel great about that. To be honest, I like fighting all over the world. I just think it makes my career, my story, my book more colorful. Doing the same thing over and over again is just boring to me. I've had a very colorful career fighting everywhere. I actually fought already in St. Petersburg before. I've been there.
Yeah.
A long time ago, 17 years ago. It was 2002. I fought a very big, tall Russian. So I was thinking, hey, this is going to kind of be repeat. Yeah. Of course, things have changed. It's like further now. St. Petersburg is a beautiful city. I remember that from then. But the economy is going better. So, yeah, looking forward to a new chapter, new story.
Sergey Kaznovsky. That's who you fought in St. Petersburg way back when.
Sergey Kaznovsky, that's the one.
Yeah, in M1. What do you remember from that fight? What could you tell us? April of 2002.
He was big. He was tall. He was, looking mean. I didn't have a problem with him. It was a good fight. I think I finished him in the first round on the ground armbar. And, he was tough, though. He's strong, physically strong guy.
What do you remember about St. Petersburg?
Well, back then it was beautiful infrastructure, beautiful buildings, very broad streets. Compared to the Netherlands, in the U.S., broad streets are kind of normal. What else? It was poor. It was Russia was still kind of in turmoil, right? So there was poor people on the street, drunk people on the street. And I remember when I walked out, there was a lot of long leather jackets. And, a little bit hostile.
Okay.
But I don't know. I like Russians. I like Russia. So to me, it's all good.
You strike me as the kind of fighter these days, like you're just looking for experiences now. You like this is kind of more fun than fighting in some random American city for you, right?
Yeah, this is extremely right. Fun, like the last fight was Beijing. It's an experience. It's different. It's new. I like that new stuff. I'm also looking to get on the Abu Dhabi card, Emirates in September. That's going to be a new experience for me. Let's not forget I've been fighting for 22 years, right? Training, sleeping, eating. It's becoming the same old shit. But then if you have these nice exotic fights, destinations, that makes it just fun.
Right. And you're in Denver right now, right? You're training there?
Yep.
Why is this working for you now? Because you also have bounced around to different locales, different cities, different teams, different gyms. Why is the Denver experience working for you?
Well, let's not forget that I've been training 26 years, right? And in 26 years, some fighters, 26 years training is already unique. But of course, in 26 years, you're gonna be training at different locations. If you're gonna be training at the same gym, kudos to you. Obviously, you made it work for you. Some people have trained at the same location 10 years, even 15 years, 26 years. I think is just difficult. You're gonna have to expand your horizon. You're gonna have to test the waters, try new things. For me, if I had trained at the same location I did when I started, I would be retired a long time ago. So to me, the switching up of location is growth, expanding your knowledge, your experiences, and to me that is what life is all about. You gotta go out there and you gotta do it. And if I stayed in the same spot, I would have not come this far. I would probably retire a long time ago, and have a regular 9 to 5 job,
Yes.
which to me is not an option. So to me, I just love the experiences. I love traveling. I love the growth. I have to say, I really like Denver as a city. I like Colorado State, and I love Team Elevation. Great technique, great team energy. I tried it out a couple of days in the beginning. After I fought Curtis, I just texted him, "Hey, I'm going to be in Denver. Should I come by the gym, check it out?" He's like, "Sure." Very open guy, very humble guy, nice guy, good guy, and it just connected from straight away. So that's a unique thing because I'm who I am, and I don't really connect with everybody, but with this team. I really felt like, this is the way to go. So after 2-3 days just training and experiencing it, I flew to Albuquerque, gave them the news, and I just continued with Team Elevation.
Is it possible this is your final stop, your last team, your last gym?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Wow, that's great. And is your family out there with you?
No, in camp I'm always by myself, so I'm just focused mode by myself.
Okay.
Focusing, training, eating, sleeping. When you have kids around, kids are great, but they take energy.
Yes.
And I have to kind of be selfish, right?
Right.
Surface athlete, focusing on me. So they're back home in Holland. I live in Miami and Holland. I still have my place in Holland as well.
You look great in your last fight. We spoke afterwards, the fight in China. I'm wondering, do you believe in your heart of hearts there's one more title run left in you? You're not just fighting these fun fights and going to these random locations just for the hell of it. Do you feel like you have one more title run left in you?
Oh, definitely. I'm in the best shape ever. And I was really looking forward to display that against Volkov next week. Now it's going to be Alexey. Alexey's a good guy. He's a friend of mine. We helped each other out in a couple fights. We have not trained together in a couple of years. I'm sure he has grown as a fighter. So have I. But no, the heavyweight division is in trouble. I'm coming back. And there's plans, there's hard work, there's dedication. Everything is there.
Have you felt his strength? Like when you trained with him, did you feel the Ezekiel choke, the Oleynik choke? Do you feel like you have a more intimate knowledge of who he is because you've had that experience?
No, yeah, I know a little bit what to expect, but the same goes for him, right? Because he's also training with me. He knows a little bit what to expect. So obviously, there's some inside information, inside knowledge there.
Okay. I see him writing on your Instagram and stuff. You guys seem to have like a good rapport.
Yeah, but it's going to be all smiles. That stand down is going to be weird because we're friends.
You're legit friends?
It's always smiles, and then it's going to be... Yeah, we're friends. I would consider him a friend.
Wow.
Like if I call him, "Hey, can you help me with a camp?" I've not done that in a couple of years, but I have the feeling if I would do that anytime, he would show up, and vice versa as well, because that's how we were doing. I would say it's like 5 years ago now, so it's like some time ago when I fought Frank Mir and when he fought Crow Cop. So yeah.
Wow. And when's the last time
He's a good guy.
You just spoke
Works
to
hard, a veteran of the sport, a lot of experience there.
Right.
What's that?
When's the last time you spoke to him just as friends, like before you knew about this? Like, do you keep in touch with him?
Well, it's not that we text, it's not that we call because there's a little language barrier.
Yeah.
But when we see each other, it's just very good energy.
Okay.
Right? It's smiles, it's hugs. For example, me and JDS don't have smiles and hugs. There's respect, but there's no smiles and hugs.
Fair enough. And when you were offered this, because of that friendship, were you kind of like, hey, can you find me someone else? I'd rather not fight my friend.
Well, I'm not really opposed to fighting. I mean, we're not teammates, right? Teammates, that could be a question mark. Yeah, it is what it is. I also fully understand UFC needs to salvage his card, right, after Volkov dropped out. So it is what it is.
Okay. Did you watch WrestleMania last night, Alistair?
Nah, I don't watch that stuff.
Yeah. Well, your friend Brock, he's
I don't watch that stuff. Listen, I was a huge fan.
Yes?
Huge fan of Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, the old guys, right? This is the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And then ever since, it's just BS.
Your old friend Brock is coming, and he's getting a title shot, it seems. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, I have no emotions or no comment on that.
Why no comment? You're not the type to keep your comments to yourself.
Yeah, because you know what I just said. I just think that whole wrestle thing is BS, and that coming from me being a huge fan. Like I was like the
Right.
biggest fan. But then I'm 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, and now to me it's just BS. Like I can't watch it. It's just I just can't. I have to say in WrestleMania's defense, there's a lot of stuff I can't watch or I don't want to watch. I just don't make time to watch. But WrestleMania is something that just immediately I just click it through. Social media, I just click it through because to me it's just nonsense. There's a lot of nonsense out there these days, and you just have to, I want to focus. I want to do what I want to do, so I just get rid of it quick.
But him coming back is fine. Fighting a guy is fine. But the fight for the belt seems like a stretch, no?
Well, you know what the thing is? Brock Lesnar has a huge fan base.
Right.
And he is a human specimen. Something is going to happen. I will be watching that fight. I'm not going to fly there. I'm not going to get a ticket. It's like too much. But I'm definitely going to be watching that fight. It is a title fight. Cormier is doing great. Brock. It is something I will watch. But, yeah, it is what it is.
Do you think he has a chance against Cormier?
To be honest, I have no idea. You don't know what kind of shape Brock is going to show up, right?
Right.
Brock can show up in a great shape. He can grow up in not too great a shape. You have I don't know.
Okay. All right, Alistair, I'm going to let you go. I wish you the best. Safe travel. When do you head out to Russia?
I think Monday I'm going to fly out, so in a week exactly.
Okay, safe travels out there. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I wish you the best in the fight.
What would you do that I would not do?
Just, stay safe. Don't talk to any suspicious characters. Keep your head on a swivel.
Okay, sound good.
All right.
Sound like a plan.
Alistair Overeem, the Reem. He returns to action against Alexey Oleynik, his friend, on April 20th, ESPN+. All right. The biggest news of the weekend as far as combat sports go, in my opinion, Bare Knuckle FC 5. Main event, Jason Knight against Artem Lobov. One of the bloodiest, most gruesome battles you have ever seen in any form of combat sports. In the end, the Russian Hammer, the GOAT, Artem Lobov wins in his BKFC debut. He wins via decision. I am afraid to see his face, but I can't wait to talk to him. There he is. Artem, my man. How are you? What a legend. How are you, Artem?
What's up, Ariel? I'm good. Thank you so much.
Oh, my gosh. How are you feeling, Artem?
Well, I feel great. Obviously, I'm a little bit messed up, but this is just the name of the fight game. And that's why I really wanted to tune in on video. I want people to see what it takes to be a fighter. Many people leave many different comments there. So that's what it's like, guys. It's not easy.
Yeah, and I appreciate you doing this via Skype. I know we had the issues last week, but it's so great to see you again. Can you see out of your eyes, Artem?
Yeah, I can see. I can see just fine.
Okay. How many stitches?
I don't know, probably around 30, I'd say.
Okay. Is it fair to say that you've never had this kind of damage after any of your MMA fights before?
In terms of the stitches, probably, yeah, it is fair to say. But in terms of damage, I've had some serious damage after my MMA fights, that's for sure.
And physically on this Monday, like, are you okay, or are you in a lot of pain?
No, I don't have any pain, to be honest. This is just a few cuts, and I got a bang on the nose, so that's what made the eyes swell up. But actually, I feel fine. My hands are not broken. They're a little bit bruised, as you can see. But, I feel good. I'm ready to go again. I cannot wait to get my hands on Malignaggi.
The fight itself, that experience, doing that for the first time, bare knuckle, did you enjoy that? Was that something that you had fun doing?
I absolutely loved it. I just love fighting, and this was the kind of fight that I love. It was all action for 10 minutes straight. My kind of fight, fair play to Jason. I honestly did not think that he would be able to take as many shots and keep on coming, but he did great. He's a tough kid. Hats off to him. He has earned my respect for life.
Did you enjoy that experience, like fighting BKFC with those rules more so than an MMA fight?
I love all the fights. I love them all.
Right. In that fight, I was actually going to ask you about that. Like, is there any point where you recall talking to yourself and saying, like, what do I have to do to put this man away?
To be honest, a little bit, and that's why when I seen him, because I dropped him about 4 times in that fight.
Yeah.
So I was like really pushing for it, and I was like, right, just let me put a little more on my shots. And then I made the mistake that many fighters do make. I started loading on my shots, and when you start loading on your shots, they get slower. They don't have as much power on them, and they tire you out as well. And as a result, I kind of got a little bit tired than in the 5th round. But it's all good, It's another learning experience. I got the win and I put on one of the best fights from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and so, like you said that your hands didn't break. Clearly they're not broken, but a little bit swollen. How do they feel, like in the midst of it all? Is there any point where you're like, gosh, I'd like to use some other weapons here? Like, how do the knuckles and the hands feel in the midst of that 25-minute fight?
I honestly thought that my hands were shattered. I thought that my hands were shattered during the fight, but actually they weren't.
Wow.
They're all swollen. Hands were covered in blood. I knocked out 4 of his teeth, and he beat my hand. Well, obviously not on purpose, but yeah, I had a big gash on my hand. But it was good, It was all good. That you're in a fight. That's what it's like to be in a fight. There you go. That's a picture of me straight after the fight before they cleaned me up. So yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I'd say that was the Halloween mask.
Artem, we've talked about the GOAT stuff in the past, but like how do you not respect that, right? I mean, that is an iconic photo right there. That will be your legacy. This photo is going to be your legacy. And I feel like the jokes are actually starting to go away, and like you are truly earning the respect of the community, the fight community. And I don't think that you are really seeking that, but have you noticed that, like, just since this fight, the last 2 days, the love that you are getting is pretty amazing.
I honestly don't care. I just fight. That's my. I always said I had true fans. I have a handful of fans, but we make a strong fist. And like I said before, we're gonna shut everybody's mouth with that fist. And it started already on Saturday, and will continue going forward.
To the best of my knowledge, going into this fight, Artem, you had only had one fight that went 5 rounds. That was the Cub Swanson fight, right?
Yep.
I would imagine you felt a lot different after this one than you did the Cub Swanson fight, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was really sore after Cub Swanson fight. He kicked me in the head a few times. You know what I mean? It was not an easy fight as well. But the victory makes all the difference.
Yeah. And you said that you felt like your hands were shattered. Was that early in the fight? Was that bothering you early or towards the end?
No, it doesn't bother me. They just felt sore, but that's not something that's gonna prevent me from not throwing my hands or prevent me from not putting all the power into my shots. That doesn't matter. So what? A bit of pain? Come on, just get me a plaster and let's go again.
And are you flying home today?
Yes, I'm flying home now. As soon as I get off the phone with you, I have to go to the airport, New Orleans. I actually wanted to go down there yesterday to explore New Orleans, but I was just too tired and ended up falling asleep and never really did that.
I don't blame you. But did they say like will your head hurt on the plane with the pressure? Any worries there?
Well, you see, that's what people don't understand. Well, when you actually look at the research, and this is the reason why amateur boxing, the headguards were removed. Yes, it looks a lot worse because obviously you get cut up a lot easier when you don't have the protection. But in terms of brain damage, this is a lot safer. And like I said, that's why they removed headguards in amateur boxing. And also another thing, what you have to keep in mind, I only fought for 10 minutes. In boxing, people fight for 36 minutes. In MMA, people fight for 25 minutes. Plus, they're getting kicked in the head, getting kneed in the head. That's a lot worse for your brain than punches with bare knuckles. So yes, it looks really bad, but in terms of damage, this is a lot less damage than boxing fight or an MMA fight.
Now that you've gone through a full experience with the promotion BKFC, what was it like? What was it like dealing with them? How did they treat you?
Yeah, I mean they treated me well. Of course, I enjoyed it. It was brilliant. I like what they're doing. I love the show. I love the fights themselves. I watched a few fights live before my own fight, and it's great. It just that's what it's like, just get in there. There's no need to stay in there for too long. 10 minutes, fight it all out, put on a great show for the fans, get paid, and go home.
What did you make of the owner, the promoter, David Feldman, saying that he was going to take part of the one fighter's purse and give it to the opponent because he didn't fight? Do you like that? Do you think that's fair?
Well, I understand where he was coming from. He is just a fan. He's a huge fan of the sport. So when he sees one guy didn't want to engage, he was a little bit emotional and said that he was going to do that. But of course, he's not going to do that, I believe. And he should. To me, it's about, they have a contract with the fighter. and you have to, honor the contract and pay him what it was promised. And if you don't like the way he fights, well, then just don't bring him in for the next show. But there, you have to pay him, and I think he did. So that's all sorted.
So the week started off in a very interesting fashion, of course, in New York, Mendez Gym. You and Paulie, you get into this scrap, and I think that ended up being very good for the business on Saturday because it got you guys a lot of attention. When that happened, when they brought you guys, I was not there, but when they brought you guys, what was your understanding? Like, what were you guys coming there to do? Which then, of course, led to the talking and the slap. But in your mind, what are you coming there to do when they're bringing you that close?
So yeah, of course, we were there to promote the fight. I came in there alone. I didn't have a training partner, nobody with me, literally, just me. That's it. On the way to the venue, the president of Bare Knuckle FC says to me, look, Artem, please, we don't want any physical, contact. You don't touch him, he's going to do the same. We have to be professionals. We have to show, good representation of the sport. And I was like, look, David, you don't have to, say no more. I'm a professional. I always have been. I just want to fight in the ring. This is where you truly show who is a man and who is not a man. All this outside bullshit, I'm like, that's not for me. So, I came in, like I said, alone, and that's what was going through my head. And when we came close, the same thing. Paulie says to me, oh, no hands, no hands. We're not going to touch. It's all good. It's all good. So I was very relaxed, just whatever. And then next thing, he throws the sly one and gets out of there. He ran away. I thought he was Usain Bolt. He ran away so quick. But, to me, again, what the hell is this? Like, are you a real man or not? Like, I showed up there alone to the hometown. Would he show up alone into Moscow? Would he show up alone into Dublin? I don't fucking think so. But, whatever. It is what it is. I can't wait to fucking slap his motorboat mouth into next week.
Was he at the fight on Saturday?
He was supposed to, but again, the pussy didn't show up. Why didn't he show up then? Because he was terrified. He thought, oh, I was probably going to be there with my whole team and this and that, and he decided not to show up. He was paid to show up, but he didn't. He had some excuse, and he was not there.
Wow. So to the best of your knowledge, that was the plan, and then he doesn't show up on Saturday. Does this make you feel like the fight might not happen, that he may have rethought this bare knuckle thing after seeing what went down on Saturday?
I would think that, trust me, if he had a chance, he would be gone a long time ago. But he is broke. That is a fact. He used to live in LA. He ran out of money, moved back home with his parents in New York, and that's it. And that's why he's coming back to fight. He doesn't want this. This is a fact. He doesn't want this. And I fucking love this. So let's see what happens. When he shows up, and I hope he does, I'm going to pound him into next week.
So earlier this morning, your friend Conor McGregor tweeted about you and said, what an animal, proud of you, Artem Lobov, amazing fight. Paulie's nice and quiet all of a sudden, and that's not like him, haha. We want a new contract for Artem Lobov for this next bout. It has been earned and now deserved. What a great showing, Jason Knight, big respect. I want to ask you about something he said there, but I just want to mention, because I had not heard from Paulie since your fight, he did respond to the tweet. I don't know if you saw his response, but just around an hour ago, he wrote, first off, nothing needs to be said because I slapped him already, though I must admit, he does have the balls you clearly never had. See you in June, Artem Lobov. So he has finally responded to, I guess, the aftermath of your fight.
Yeah, well, look, I just hope he shows up, because this guy, we all know he can talk. He's been doing nothing but talking lately. So let's fight. You know what I mean? Let's fight. Just please show up, Paulie. I'm begging. Just show up.
By the way, what about Rumble Johnson getting in the midst of all of that? Did you see that with one arm and still filming at the same time? That was great technique. Super heavyweight Rumble Johnson.
Yeah, I honestly, when I see Rumble, I can't believe this motherfucker used to make 170. How? When I stand beside him, I'm always afraid, he might get a bit peckish and fucking, I will end up being his snack.
What is his role in all of this? Why was he there? What is he doing?
I don't know. I don't care, but I just love having him there. What a great guy he is. And he's an animal. He's a great fighter and a really nice guy. So, I love having him there. I love that he's part of that promotion. It's just good to hang out with him.
Did anything happen off camera, behind the scenes, when they were separating you guys? Anything that we need to know about the skirmish on Tuesday of last week?
Well, because I was a little bit, the emotion was high for me then, and there was a ring there. So I said, right, fuck the pay-per-view. Get in the ring now, and let's go. And let's see what happens. Of course, he was not heard then, not seen, or anything like that.
Wow. What do you think this can do on pay-per-view? Like, how many can you sell, you think?
I have no idea. What do you think? You're the expert on this, right? I mean, you're in the business, so you tell me. What do you think?
I don't know what their benchmark is thus far. Like, do you know what their best one is? Like, what they've gone for the first 5, what their best number was?
I don't know. I know this one is definitely going to be the best one, but my team is working behind the doors, closed doors now, to obviously look into all that and see what we managed to pull in on Saturday.
Yeah.
But in terms of Cooley, I mean, as far as I know the whole of Ireland wants to see him get slapped around. All of the US wants to see him get slapped around. All of Russia wants to see him get slapped around. So that's a lot of people already.
So June 22nd, does that work for you, that date?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Never in my life have I pulled out of the fight.
I know.
Never. And I'm ready to go.
Just to give yourself some time to heal.
Oh, trust me. This is nothing for me. Granite chin. Born in Russia, forged in Ireland. They don't make them like this anymore.
That is true. And so what about what Connor said? We want a new contract for Artem Lobov for this next bout. It has been earned and now deserved. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a nice little help out from my brother Connor. He, of course, is working, like I said, behind closed doors about this contract and making sure that I get paid well, which I know I will. Yeah, but the main thing here is the fight. Just to knock this guy out, that's gonna feel so good.
Once and for all, right? You feel like once you do that, this whole thing with Paulie will end? The whole drama of the past 2 years?
Nothing will make him stop talking. Nothing will. But hopefully for a few weeks he'll keep quiet with a broken jaw.
Right. And do you feel like now your stock, like, okay, so you left the UFC off the loss there, but now with everyone talking about you and all the respect that you're receiving, do you feel like now this will almost have a trickle-down effect to, these other promotions that you've been talking to about MMA, kickboxing, boxing? Is that what you are feeling already?
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of knew that this was always going to happen, because the thing is, I'm a true fighter, and I always have been. When there's all this online things, you can be shown a certain angle sometimes, in a certain, whatever, this, that, or the other way. But life is not just a short clip. Life is a lot longer than that. So when you keep going and you keep showing people who you truly are, eventually they realize and they see it, and you get their support. And that's exactly what I've been saying. The more people get to know me, the more love I seem to receive.
Yeah. When's the last time you felt this kind of love after a fight? It feels like it's been a while.
Yeah, probably the Ultimate Fighter, I'd say. I mean, I always, like I said, I always have my true fans.
Right.
And they always give me love. I have a lot of fans in Ireland and a lot of fans in Russia. So they support me no matter what. And that's what truly matters. But yeah, the kind of love that I received from everyone like this probably hasn't been since the Ultimate Fighter.
And do you feel like bare knuckle fighting should be legalized in all states? I mean, now it's Mississippi, it's Wyoming. It still has an uphill climb. Do you feel like this will be something that will be accepted like MMA has been, or will it forever be kind of on the fringes because of the results of the fights?
It should be because number one, if you actually look back, all the belts, every single boxing belt, UFC belts, all the belts, they started from a bare knuckle belt. In 1882, John Sullivan won the first ever bare knuckle belt, and then all the other belts started from that. So this is the true origin of the belts and the sport, comes from the bare knuckle. And in terms of, like I said, damage, if you look at it, if you can look past this, because like I said, visually it looks bad, but in terms of brain damage, which has been clearly the most serious issue, this is a lot safer than boxing and a lot safer than MMA. And let's be honest, we shouldn't be looking at just the way it looks, because look at the professional football. They don't look nothing bad, after the games. But the average career in that sport is only 2 years, because the amount of brain damage they receive is incredible. So to me, this is a lot safer. So why not? Why shouldn't it be accepted? It should be accepted everywhere. So I hope that the Nevada State Commission look at this and they finally legalize it in Vegas. Let's look at the facts here. Let's not make any stupid mistakes. We look at the facts, look at the research, look what the neurosurgeons are saying, and based on that, they should be making a decision.
And so just to be clear, you're saying it's safer than boxing because it's all really cosmetic. You're not actually pounding the head as much. Because in boxing, you have the protection, and so that you don't feel it with your hands, so you're going to keep going, right?
Exactly. You throw a lot more punches, and also you're doing it for 36 minutes. Here you're doing it for 10 minutes.
Right.
This all will go away in about a week or two, and I'm going to be looking pretty once again. But the brain damage, that's what stays with you for the rest of your life. And that's the real issue. That's what people should really be looking at. And in terms of brain damage, this sport is a lot safer than boxing and a lot safer than MMA.
Okay, one last one for you, Artem. And again, thank you so much for this. I believe this was your first fight as a dad, correct?
Yes, correct.
Congratulations to you and your partner, Mazel Tov. I'm so happy for you guys. Do you feel different as a fighter? Like, do you feel like you're fighting for different things? Your motivation is different?
Absolutely. I'm a father feeding his cub now. And there's one more thing, Ariel. Before I go, I would like to do this for all the fighters in the world. I always say that I'm trying to help all the fighters, but that's one thing that we can all do now to truly help the fighters. What is this shit where they pay you show money and then a win bonus? That is the biggest bullshit I have ever heard, because my expenses don't change whether I win or I lose the fight. I put on still the same show. And also in terms of ticket sales, the tickets are already sold. So whether I lose or win doesn't affect the ticket sales. So why should I take half my pay, you know what I mean, if I didn't win the fight, especially when it's only a decision or something? That is the biggest bullshit ever. So I'm telling to all the fighters right now, listen, if you already have a contract, you have to respect that. So you have to fight it out. But when you're getting a new contract, do not let them give you the stupid contract where it's show and the win bonus. You should be getting a flat fee, which should be the combination of them two, and that's what you should be receiving. And I'm asking you, as the media as well, to back anybody up that runs into issues where the promoter tries to give them that other contract of show and pay money. And I tell them as well, if you ever run into problems like this, tag me on Twitter and I will back you up as well. And you, Ariel, don't try to hide on this one as well, because if you do, I'm going to pull you right out of the bush by your famous nose.
What do you
Shalom, brother.
First of all, that was an incredible rant. Second of all, I have been saying this for 5 years, Artem, pissing off everyone. The show win system is antiquated. It's unfair. It's the only sport that has this, that you guys are being treated like show ponies, where they bring you out and they say, oh, if you don't fight, if you don't. But by the way, your guy, Feldman, was trying to do the same thing. This is not right. You guys deserve to know how much you're making the moment you step into that ring, cage, wherever it may be. So I couldn't agree with you more. And I've been saying it for the past 5 years, but from your lips to God's ears, I will back you, my friend.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
You're the man, Artem. Rest up. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for doing this, and safe travels home.
Thank you so much, Ariel.
What a legend. Artem Lobov with the pipe bomb before he says goodbye there. Couldn't agree more with that. Show win, no more. End it. We're starting to see a bit of a movement there. Let's get behind the GOAT, Artem Lobov. All right, I told you at the top of the show, new main event, not only for April 20th, but also for April 27th as well. Sunrise, Florida. It's going to be Jacare Souza against our guest at this time, Jack Hermanson, the pride of Sweden and Norway, joining us on the show for the first time. Jack, how are you?
Good, thank you. It's awesome to be here.
Yes, it's great to have you on the show, and I know your fans in Norway and Sweden have been wanting you to be on the show for a long time, so really happy that you're here. How did this opportunity come about for you? When did you find out that this was something that you could slide into, that it was an opportunity that you could take, and how did it all play out from your perspective?
It has been very fast. It was just a couple of days ago. So basically, I think it was 3 days ago where I got the call. And, I said yes right away. It's too good of an opportunity to back down from. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Did they reach out to you, or did you reach out to them when you found out about Yoel withdrawing from the fight?
I didn't even know. I was on my way to Sweden, and just on the bus there, my manager reached out to me, and so they were the UFC asked for me basically.
And did you think twice, or was it right away? Yes, I'm taking this.
No, I didn't think twice. It was just right away.
No concerns whatsoever. I mean, Jacare, one of the best fighters in the middleweight division, one of the best fighters in the sport, so great on the ground. No concerns at all.
No concerns at all about that. It was more like, all right, how I'm gonna clear my head from all the noise from the last fight with Branch, because you're a little bit mental, after the last win. So a little bit. you get a dump after the fight. You get a little bit tired, especially in the head. But I was just like, I'm gonna refocus and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna win this fight and I'm gonna shock the world and show how good I am.
Do you feel like now you're getting up for the Jacare fight? Like, are you still on the down, kind of coming down from the Branch fight? Or do you feel like you're now starting to ramp up again for the Jacare fight?
I feel like today was the day where I woke up really energized and ready to go. So now I feel great again, and I'm really looking forward to it.
That performance against David Branch was phenomenal. To do that against Renzo Gracie black belt, to submit him in just 49 seconds was amazing. And you started to, I felt like that was a coming out party for you. You were talking about maybe calling out Chris Weidman. This time next year, you're going to be in the title picture. You beat Jacare. This whole thing gets expedited. Like there's not a lot of room between Jacare and the title shot, right? You know this, correct?
Yeah, I know, and I'm thinking about it all the time. Just like, oh shit, it's gonna be so great if I can get this win, and I'm getting one step closer to my dream, So I'm super happy with this opportunity.
So Jacare's manager Gilberto Faria told ESPN that if he wins, he's getting a title shot guaranteed. Is the same true for you?
They haven't told me anything about that, but I'm gonna win this fight and I'm gonna do it impressively, and then I'm gonna come with my demands.
Okay, like in your mind, you beat Jacare, you're probably like one fight away tops, right?
Yeah, I think so. Either the winner of Gastelum and Adesanya, they will probably fight Whittaker next, and then it's gonna be me, or I might have to fight the winner of a possible fight between Romero and Paulo Costa. I think that's the options.
So you're on a 3-fight winning streak. This is your longest winning streak as far as being a UFC fighter is concerned. And again, what you did against David Branch, nothing short of amazing. What do you credit this winning streak for? Has something changed? Have you done anything differently? Why are things going so well for you now?
Yeah, I got myself a mental coach after the Thiago Santos fight where I lost, and it has helped me a lot to get a little bit more, stable up in the head. And I credit it to that, because the skills are there, and it's just if I'm able to perform at fight night or not, And I think that I'm past that now, and I'm gonna come with the great performance every time.
Was that something that was bothering you a lot early in your career, like the mental side of the game? Did you feel like that was a hurdle you needed to get over?
A lot actually, and it was like some fights I felt good, some fights I felt like shit, and I was just like, I can't control this, and that was very scary. I didn't know if I'm gonna have like a mental breakdown or if I'm gonna feel good before I get in there. But now I feel like I have a little bit more control over it. I have a little bit more techniques to work with, and I have a different way to prepare myself mentally for before every fight. And I think that time is past now, and it's great times to come.
Wow, that's fascinating. The mental side of this sport is incredibly fascinating to me. I'm curious if you could tell us, like, what did the coach do? Like, how did the coach help you see things differently? What kind of things did they do for you?
It's so much, we have broken down my whole life into small pieces, and we have tried to twitch and fix everywhere and everything to make me as prepared as I can for a fight. And that is the main thing to give me confidence, to know that to know that I am developing all the time, and that I've looked into every single piece of the game to be better at. That, and also a lot of visualization techniques that he has taught me as well.
Wow, that's amazing. A part of you probably feels like you probably should have done this earlier in your career, right?
Yeah, for sure. But everything is for a reason, it's my time now.
And so your winning streak coincides with when you started working with this coach?
Yeah.
And you feel a lot less nervous, so like the mind isn't playing tricks on you before your fights?
Yeah, not the same way as before. I have like the whole weeks before the fight, I have like some techniques and some stuff going on up here to prepare me for that, and I'm very confident that that works, and it has been doing that so far, and I'm sure it will in the next fight as well.
I was so impressed by the guillotine choke against David Branch, the Armin guillotine, because I know how strong you have to be to pull that off. Dominic Cruz broke it down, saying that it's a little easier to do it when you're dry, when you're not as sweaty, so the guy can't slip out. But to me, it's still incredibly impressive. Is that a move that you like? Like, do you go to the Armin consistently, or did it just sort of play out that way in the fight itself?
It has been a technique that I've been using a lot the past 4 months, and it has become one of my favorite techniques, and I'm hitting it all the time in training now. And I just knew that if I was going to get the opportunity, I was going to go for it 100%, because I know that when I get my hands together there, it's over.
Would you say that was, I mean, you've been fighting for a while. You have 23 fights on your resume, pro fights. Was that the greatest moment of your career thus far, that win over Branch just 9 days ago?
It has to be, you know, especially leading up to this.
Yes, absolutely. So now, right now you're in Oslo, correct? Norway?
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
But you're originally from Sweden.
Yeah, I grew up in Sweden. I lived there for about 19, 20 years.
Okay, and so why did you move to Norway?
I couldn't find a job after school in Sweden, so me and a lot of other Swedish immigrants went to Norway to find a job, basically, and that's how I ended up here.
What kind of job did you find there?
First I worked as a teacher, and then I worked in a pet shop in a zoo store to sell dog food and fish and so on.
What kind of teacher?
I will say substitute teacher, you know, because I don't have any teacher education. It was just like I started to help disabled kids at the school, and then eventually I went to do loads of different classes.
Wow. And do you still do that? Do you still work as a teacher?
No. Now it's 100% MMA.
No more pet shop either?
No.
You know, I recently got a dog myself, and I find that pet shops really smell. Did you find that they smell like, how did you sit in there for days on end? There's like a distinct smell in a pet shop, right?
It is. You get used to it as everything else.
Oh gosh. And in correct me for my excuse me for my ignorance, but they speak Norwegian there, correct? Not Swedish.
They do.
So how were you able to be a teacher in Norway upon moving there? Did you speak Norwegian?
I understood, you know, I had a couple of Norwegian friends in school, so and it's quite similar, but it was a little bit tough in the start, but then you managed to catch up, you know. It's pretty similar, so after a while it's not a big deal.
Okay, and you've decided now to stay in Norway. That's where you like to train, even though in Norway MMA isn't as popular as it is in Sweden. Yeah,
true. You know, MMA is still not legal here, so now amateur MMA just got legal 2 days ago, but professional MMA is still banned. But we do have a great team at the Frontline Academy here in Oslo with a lot of good fighters, and I feel like this is the place to be. You know, this is where I grew through my whole career, and I think that I can go all the way with the team that I have.
That's incredible. Yeah, so I saw that from the MMAAF that Norwegian amateur MMA was just legalized, but not pro. What is taking so long to get the pro game legalized, and do you think it's going to happen soon?
I hope so, but the politics is so slow. You know, it's moving so slow. We even have professional boxing legal now since a couple of years back, but I don't know, man. It's we have to get the debate up and speak about it, because it doesn't make sense.
What is the problem? Like, what is the issue?
Knockouts, they say, but they have another sport that allows knockouts.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, you know, it makes no sense.
And do they stop? Like, there's no problem training, right? You just can't make money fighting.
Yeah, you can't have a show, basically. Yeah.
Do you feel like your success, like you go and beat Jacare, then you get a title shot, you win the belt? Do you think that could help open the door to getting the sport legalized?
I really hope so. You know, and I really hope so, and I really hope that it can make the people of Norway even more engaged into making it happen.
Wow, that would be amazing. You could be a pioneer. You could be the guy.
Yeah, I would love that.
Let me tell you something.
I'm ready.
If you pull off an arm-in guillotine choke against Jacare, they should build a statue in your honor, let alone legalize the sport there. That would be incredible. Man, are you going to try to go for something like that against him?
I will make it happen. You know, I can tell it to you. I can tell it to him. If I get that opportunity, I'm going to go for the choke.
Okay, if you do that, if you pull off that particular choke, I'm flying to Oslo, and I'm going to campaign on behalf of the sport to get the sport legalized, because that is an incredible feat. By the way, why do they call you the Joker?
I will remember what you said there.
Okay.
The Joker is because of this big smile of mine. A couple of friends called me that in school because they thought that my smile looked like the Joker in Batman.
Yes.
And then it was a couple of guys at the weigh-in once. They were calling out the Joker when I was gonna weigh in. So I was just like, okay, that has to be my nickname then.
I love it, and I could see the resemblance. You also, do you know the actor Devon Sawa? He once played Casper a long time ago. Are you familiar with him?
I can't remember him, no.
Look up Google when you have a chance. Devon Sawa, Devonsawa. You look exactly like him. He's a big MMA fan as well, and you kind of look like his long-lost brother, his Norwegian/Swedish brother.
Sounds good. I hope it looks good.
Well, yes, he does. He does. Take my word for it. What a treat. What a pleasure to meet you for the first time, to speak to you for the first time, Jack. I wish you all the best, and well done on taking this fight on such short notice. Not a lot of people would do that against someone like Jacare, especially as you are sort of basking in the glow of that win over David Branch. But I tip my cap to you. I hope it all goes well for you. Good luck in training the next few weeks, and, of course, good luck on April 27th.
Thank you so much, Ariel. Thank you for having me. Speak to you soon.
Yes, absolutely. Wow, Jack Hermansson, the Joker. That's amazing. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. I've never talked to that man before, and I really enjoyed his demeanor. Nice dimples, nice smile, had a great joie de vivre to him. That was great. April 27th, Sunrise, Florida. Jack Hermansson against Jacare Souza. Okay, matter of seconds, we're going to be joined by Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse. Just made his debut for one championship, victorious in his debut. But first, let me tell you about our good friends over at Stamps.com. As you know, no one really has time to go to the post office these days. You're busy, I'm busy, we're all busy as you're looking at the lineup for this weekend's card, UFC 236. So you don't have to look at my face as I tell you about this. Who's got time for all that traffic, parking, lugging your mail and packages? It's a real hassle. I like this music. Well done. That's why you need Stamps.com, one of the most popular time-saving tools for small businesses. Stamps.com eliminates trips to the post office and saves you money. Discounts that you can't even get at the post office. That's what they have over at Stamps.com. They bring you all the amazing services of the U.S. Postal Service right to your computer. Whether you're a small office sending invoices, an online seller shipping out products, or even a warehouse sending out thousands of packages a day, Stamps.com can handle it all with ease. Simply use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send. Once your mail is ready, just hand it to your mail carrier or drop it in a mailbox. Voila! It's that simple. With Stamps.com, you get 5 cents off every first-class stamp and up to 40% off priority mail. Not to mention, it's a fraction of the cost of those expensive postage meters. Stamps.com is a no-brainer, saving you time and money. It's no wonder over 700,000 small businesses already use Stamps.com. Now, for my listeners, you will get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. So just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in my name, Ariel, A-R-I-E-L. That's Stamps.com. Enter Ariel. Again, that's A-R-I-E-L. Support them because they support us, the good people over at Stamps.com. Thank you very much. And if you want to continue to support this show and continue to make it free, please do rate, subscribe, view, download, comment, all those things and more. We appreciate it. All right. Now let us move on to our next guest. He is one of the greatest fighters of all time. He recently left the UFC in that historic trade for Ben Askren. He is now a member of the One Championship promotion. He made his debut on March 31st. He defeated Yuya Wakamatsu in the first round of the flyweight tournament. He is the one. He is the only. Demetrius, Mighty Mouse Johnson. Look at him living his best life with his robe, just chilling. DJ, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just chilling, take care of the children, you know.
I appreciate it. I love you when you're doing this. It reminds me of your Instagram. When you do the whole thing about your beard and you like brush it out and stuff, I find it fascinating. Like I go back and watch it again. It's like almost soothing to watch you like take care of your beard.
It feels good to, have the beard back. And my daughter, she, out of all three of my children, she's the one who actually grabs it and pulls it. So I love it. I won't shave it for a long time until I get sick of it. But, it's kind of like my look now, I guess you can say.
No, I love it. Please don't touch it. By the way, how old is your daughter now?
She is 7 months. 7 months, I believe.
What's the difference? 2 boys, then a girl. Much like me. What's the difference between having boys and having the girl? Do you feel it?
I don't feel it yet. I mean, her voice is more higher pitch. Other than that, she's still baby. She hasn't really got her personality yet. Hey, get your butt back in the house now.
Where are you right now? Are you outside?
I'm outside of my outdoor living area, so I'm just chilling. Get inside now.
What are they trying to do? Crash the interview?
Basically, hey, I hold no shame when I'm raising my kids. They do something wrong, I'm gonna get in that butt. I'm telling them get back in the house.
You give them the look. Do you spank? Are you a spanker?
No, I have never laid a hand on my kids. I'm not a spanker at all.
Okay. I appreciate that out of you. And you just came back from Thailand, right? Like you were gone. How long were you gone for? You went from Japan to Thailand?
Yeah, I was gone for 16 days, man. It's the longest I've been away from my kids. It was pretty emotional, but it's part of my life now. Now that I'm a part of one championship, competing in Asia, I'm not gonna try to go over there, 5 days before the competition. I'm gonna go over there and give myself enough time to acclimate to the time zone and the time change.
It had been a while since you fought for a promotion not owned by Zuffa, right? WC, UFC had been a very long time. The experience, like, did you feel like a rookie all over again? Did it feel foreign to you? What was it like?
I mean, I didn't feel foreign. At the end of the day, I mean, the biggest thing I felt difference was that the cultures I was around. You know what I mean? We had guys from all over the world competing, not in just one discipline, mixed martial arts. It was kickboxing, Muay Thai, and mixed martial arts itself. So that was probably the biggest difference. But other than that, it felt, just like another event week.
Uh-oh. Daddy's coming to lay the smackdown. What's happening?
No, I'm just trying to move because they're little raccoons, man. They just before we jump in this interview, they're sitting there enjoying their hot cocoa, doing their own thing, and I jump on the phone next thing it's all hell breaks loose.
No school today?
Unfortunately not.
What is it, a holiday? What is today? April? It was spring break?
No, it's not spring break. They only go to school 4 days out of the week.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's Monday, so Tuesday, Friday.
But by the way, your boys have the greatest head of hair I've ever seen in my life. I know we're talking a lot about kids here, but it's just amazing. I mean, I've never seen hair like this before.
I mean, it's part of the ethnicity of the African American and Caucasian coming together. So
right. Whatever it is,
it's a lot of work.
It's magic.
It's a lot of work, but it's lovely. I'm never going to shave it.
The thing we always talked about was, what would it be like in Asia? Would DJ be respected more? Would be appreciated more? What was it like actually going there? The fans, did you feel like they had a different relationship, a different appreciation for who you are as a fighter?
100%. The biggest thing over there is that they love mixed martial athletes, combat athletes. And the biggest thing was when we were at the venue and I was fighting, everybody said that's probably the loudest a Japanese crowd has ever reacted during the event. Wow. So typically, if you ever watch a Pride or a Dream, any old Bushido Shuto, it's extremely quiet. Like when you hear the feet on your feet on the canvas move around. Here, man, like they were cheering for Yuya. They were cheering for me when I passed guard, when I took his back. They were just screaming, and everybody was like, "That's probably the loudest a Japanese crowd has ever been for an event." So wow. The Japanese fans love, the smaller weight classes. I'm glad to be over there.
So early on, and I'm not going to say it was like too dicey, but there were some moments there that you had to overcome some obstacles. What was going through your mind there?
It's part of fighting. That's the beautiful thing about fighting. Everybody thinks you're gonna go out there and blow the brakes off everybody, and that's not how it is. Yuya Wakamatsu, he's a game opponent, great Japanese athlete, and especially not having Matt in my corner. I had great teammates in the corner, James and Tony, to get me through the fight, and it is what it is. I knew he was going to try to avoid the grappling exchanges and try to knock me out because he's a great striker. He's got a lot of first round finishes. But you know what? I've been to this before. I remember fighting John Dotson the first time. I mean, I got dropped, I think, 2 or 3 times in the fight, but once I was able to close the distance to get my hands on him, that I knew I would, it would be for the better for myself.
Was he tougher than you thought he would be?
No, not at all. I knew he was going to be tough. I mean, he's a Pancrase flyweight champion. So, I mean, I fought guys who have been champions, and I fought guys who aren't champions. And so he was tough.
Last time you were on the show, we talked about the fact that your longtime head coach, Matt Hume, couldn't be in your corner, as you just alluded to, because he worked for one. When was the last time you had any sort of contact with him about this fight? Like, when did you have to cut it off?
Well, this is the thing, it's not like it's so secret, right? We're not going to act like we don't know each other when we're over there, right? So,
Right.
I talked to him before I went over to the arena, and it was my first time getting my hands wrapped by somebody else than, I'm used to. And then the whole thing, even the weight cutting process, right? Because now, I'm fighting at 135, which is their flyweight division. I have to weigh 2 times at 135 pounds, fully hydrated. So, we have contact the whole entire week. We didn't work out together, but we can still talk because he talks to other athletes as well.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, he can't be in my corner. He can still talk to me, but it's not. People act like we're just gonna just forget about the whole, 10 or 12 years we spent with our whole entire life after we don't know each other.
When did you miss him the most?
I didn't miss him on it. Well, I didn't. It's kind of hard. I didn't miss him because I know this is part of my journey becoming the next evolution of mixed martial arts, as you can say, right? So, I mean, I spoke to him the whole entire week. Obviously, I would say I probably miss him when it came to training because he is, one of the best, in my opinion, probably the best to ever do it. And he's very good about imitating my opponents. And I would say I probably missed that the most.
I would imagine, new chapter in your life, new promotion. You're not with your coach who's been by your side for the vast majority of your career. Like, this is a lot to go through, no? Like, mentally, were there ever any moments where you're like, oh, gosh, like, it would be really nice to have him in this fight by my side as just like that familiar face?
100%. It's frustrating. It pisses me off sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's part of the journey, right? I mean, when I decided to come over to Asia to be part of One Championship, at the beginning we thought he was going to be able to be in my corner, but then, they sat down and said, with conflict of interest, it's probably best that, you're not in his corner. And, like, for me, that's a huge piece of my success in my game. And throughout all my consecutive title defenses, my WEC fights, and now for me to go out there and fight without him in my corner, it's like, all right, well, you guys are getting, you're getting the best of Demetrius Johnson, but you're not getting, Demetrius Johnson and Matt Hume, yang, I guess you could say. So it's frustrating, but, I'm going to get used to it. I mean, like I said, I give myself 5 more years in this in mixed martial arts, and then I'm done.
Okay, and what about, is that a new thing, or have you stuck to that for a while? Like, what is 5 years from now?
5 years, I'll be 37. Be old.
Why 37? That's such a random number.
I don't know, man. I'm 32 now, so I just give myself 5 years. But,
Okay.
at the end of the day, the biggest thing I'll say difference is that, it's been since 2011 was the last time I fought at 135. And me making this weight cut or weighing in at 135, my body's been able to recover a lot faster. So I'm going to go to the gym today, work out. So who knows? I might be able to postpone 5 years, up to 7 years because I'm not having to put my body through that traumatic weight cut to make 125.
Classic fighter. I was just gonna say, oh, here's DC telling us he's gonna retire at 40, and I was just gonna say, I guarantee you're not gonna go out at 37, and already you're extending your retirement. You haven't even reached 35.
Well, it's hard, man, because for example, Eddie Alvarez, awesome dude, and just to see what happened to him, and it was one punch. It wasn't a combination of punches. It was just one punch landed in the right spot, hit him in the eye, and I was in Thailand with him, and I was looking at his eye, and I was like, damn it, your eye is fucked up. And I'm just like, he could possibly go blind for one shot. So at the end of the day, man, why risk it? Why risk, that happening to me if I can say, you know what, you got to cut it off in 5 years. Just like GSP. GSP can keep on competing if he wanted to. He's 100% healthy. He could probably be the lightweight champion of the world. But he's like, you know what, sometimes as an athlete, you have to be disciplined to know when to get out. And I feel like in 5 years, it'll be time for me to get out. It's like, okay, you've done everything. Like, what is there left to do? Hopefully you're financially stable by then. Just get out. You be disciplined enough to get out. You can still work out. You can still train. You still learn mixed martial, continue your journey in mixed martial as a mixed martial artist, but just get out.
I know you were locked in on your fight and you have separate journeys, but you guys will now forever be sort of linked because you came to one at the same time, you and Eddie Alvarez. Any part of you sees what happens to him as you're about to go out there, and does it play tricks on your mind? You start to doubt yourself. Does it affect you in any way?
Well, I think the biggest thing that I try to be honest about is that when it comes to visualizing and watching other athletes compete, like Eddie Alvarez, I was watching his fight just because I can get like a vibe of what's going on out there, and it does play tricks in your mind. But at the end of the day, me and Eddie Alvarez were two different athletes. If I go out there and I'm having trouble on the feet with somebody, I'm gonna mix it up to close the distance, go to the ground, stay in the clinch. I'm not. I don't believe I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because I'm not going to be like, my striker is better than his, and I'm going to keep it on the feet because I'm a better striker. No, it's mixed martial arts. I'm going to get to where I need to get the victory. If I need to get to the ground, I get to the ground. So.
All right. Can you explain the weigh-in thing for me? You never actually step on the scale at 125. You step on the scale at 135. Is that accurate?
135. Yep, 2 times. So
when's the first time?
First time is this time I fight Sunday, so stepped on Friday at 1 p.m. and then Saturday 1 p.m. and you have to be hydrated and you have to weigh 135.
Wow. So the first time you have to weigh 135 and then you get 24 hours and you have to still weigh 135.
That is correct. You have to be hydrated both times. That's the most important part. You have to be hydrated. You can't. So for example, let's say I came down to the scale. I jump in the scale 135. I do a hydration test and I'm dehydrated. I failed. I have to do it again.
Wow.
And then let's say I come down and I'm super hydrated, but I'm overweight. Failed. So you have to get hydration and you have to get the weight correctly. So for example, it was hilarious. Shinya Aoki, he came down and he was super hydrated, like just super hydrated. I'm like, hey dude, like you're on weight, good job, but you're super hydrated. So he had to go back and get his hydration right and come back and weigh in, and he passed both times. So it's very strict, and I actually like that because the next day on fight day, I weighed 136.8 waking up, and then I think after the event, I weighed like 62.3 kilograms, which that's like probably 139, 140, I think. I'm not sure.
And what does the hydration test entail? Like, what do they do to find out if you're hydrated or not?
Urine sample. They test the gravity of your urine sample, and that's also your drug test as well. So I got drug tests. Everybody's over there goes, "Oh, you're an Asian now. Everybody's on steroids. Everybody's on PEDs." No, ladies and gentlemen. We get tested. I got tested before the competition and right after it. So, but they test the gravity of your urine. So that's how they do it. And the same thing USADA does too. Like each time I've got tested with USADA, they'll come, you do a urine sample, and they'll test the gravity of your sample to make sure it's just not water or fully diluted.
What was this athlete retreat that you were at in Thailand? It looked like you looked like you were in heaven, but like what was this thing?
It was basically bringing all the top athletes of one championship together and putting a whole bunch of seminars together for those guys. One was YouTube 101, helping the athletes build a brand on YouTube, also social media. And then there was a very inspirational story. I believe the guy was John McClain. Inspirational story. Gentleman broke his back. I think at the age of 22, was going to be, a phenomenal Australian rugby player. Broke his back and went through all this stuff. He did Ironman, couldn't walk, had paralysis, couldn't walk. He was bound to a wheelchair his whole entire life, won a silver medal in the Olympics in rowing. And then now he's focused on walking and he's achieved that. And now he's focused on running. So just a whole bunch of stuff, man. And it was great. I got to play volleyball with a whole bunch of one athletes and just kick back and relax.
Are you fighting on their card in May? I think May 16th or May 17th? Are you fighting on that one?
No. That's Sage Northcutt. That's where he's fighting Cosmo. I'm going to go out to Singapore, get some training in at Evolve MMA. And, I can't tell you when the next time I'll be competing for the second round of the World Grand Prix.
Why not?
Because you know how it goes, Ariel Helwani.
What?
If I were to do it now, then it takes the steam away from one championship. You know how it is.
Gosh, jeez. You guys keep your cards so close to your vest. Do you know who your opponent is yet?
I don't know who my opponent is. They're fighting actually this Saturday. I know one guy is a Japanese athlete, Wada, and then I don't know the other guy's name as well. But I'll be watching that close.
Okay. By the way, could I ask what your thoughts are now that it's been a couple of weeks? The whole TJ Dillashaw situation. You were going to fight him. It seemed like he was coming for you. What do you make of it now?
The situation of him coming for me, or just his situation in general?
No. I was just trying to paint the picture that you guys are linked. I was basically trying to give a reason as to why I'm asking you about TJ Dillashaw for those that don't know about the backstory.
Shame, everyone. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think the end of the day for TJ, he went down to fight Hermansson, and I felt like that fight can gone in either way. TJ Dillashaw, he's no joke. He's great on the feet. He's great everywhere, and so is Hermansson. And it's just one of those shots when you get hit in the side of the head. Now, unfortunately, TJ is dealing with the whole adverse finding in his sample, but it is what it is. I hope the best for both those athletes, and I hope he's able to move past it, do his time, and then get back in the octagon. At the end of the day, there's been so many people who pop for steroids or whatever it is. They do their time, they come back, and they be able to compete again and make money. So at the end of the day, it's almost like a blemish kind of, but not really, I guess. So at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. I mean,
I heard that you said that you were always scared to fight in Japan. Why is that?
Just because the time difference and just traveling over there and the food, just been scared of it, right? Like the first time I fought in Florida, it was like 3 hours 3 hour time difference, and I just didn't like it. I'm like, it's freaking midnight, and I'm fighting at midnight. I'm just not a fan of it. So, now I'm at a point in my career where I'm enjoying the process of it, enjoying the foreigner going over to a foreign country and competing against homeland athletes. I don't know. It's been fun. At the beginning, I was scared, but now I'm all about it.
You happy, DJ? You seem happy. Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I felt happy.
I feel the happiness. I'm happy you're happy.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate that.
It's good. It's good to see you smiling, appreciated, feeling good, new challenges. It's nice. I maintain, by the way, that you should be fighting for the belt right now. Like, I don't know why you have to go through this gauntlet. I think that's crazy, but
why not? This is the thing, right? Why not? I mean, at the end of the day, yes, I probably could have went over there and be like, hey, you know what? I want an immediate title shot, right? But at the end of the day, why not go over there, build my name, build my brand, get used to the weight transition, get used to filling, one championship canvas under my feet. I hope my next competition is in a ring. Like, I hope I get to fight in a ring, and then, get 3 fights. If I win these 3 fights, then I get a title shot. I mean, why not? I mean, I think at the end of the day, that's the problem with this sport, is that people are just getting title shots just because they have a big name. But why not create the best of the best of the best in a tournament bracket format, and then the winner gets a title shot? Then do it again, do it again. Then you could also, have a person who's the number 1 contender just to keep the champion active. But at the end of the day, I'm not complaining about it. If I was fighting at 125 and I had to make that your drastic weight cut, then I think I'd be a little upset. But like I said, I'm going to the gym today to work out. I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow, do some jiu-jitsu, and stay active. And then, when the time comes, when I know my next opponent, when they land a date, we'll be ready for it.
Appreciate you doing this, DJ. I mean, the robe, the beard, the chain. It's just like you are on point right now. The shirt.
Let me give you some of the chest.
I mean, this is just, you are living. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is nice.
Look at that.
Congratulations. What a finish. Enjoy the time off, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Even though you won't tell me the date, I'm still looking forward to it.
No worries, man. Thanks for having the show. I appreciate you.
All right. There he is, the one and only Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson. Always great to catch up with him. Fun debut for one championship. All right, let's move along now. It's been a while since we talked to our next guest, one of my favorites in the history of this program. The one and only Mike Platinum Perry is back April 27th, and there he is, my man Mike. How are you, Mike?
What's up, Ariel? What's up, all the viewers watching Ariel? You lose viewers since you got on ESPN with Chael Sonnen, or you get about the same amount?
Oh, no way. I'm way more famous now. What do you think? You thought
way more famous.
You thought I lost viewers? Because I did. Who loses viewers when they go to ESPN?
Right. I don't know. I don't know if it goes backwards sometimes out here in this world. You take a step forward, you move 2 steps back.
Right.
Sometimes it be like that.
Do you feel like I've gone soft, like I went corporate? I sold out?
I ain't heard from you in so long, bro. You don't hit me up.
Oh, well, I was letting you be. Well, let's get into it, because I heard that you found love. I heard that, you're a changed man now, so I was just letting you do your thing. Is that true?
Shit, I'm the man I've always been, bro. I just figured out what I was.
Wait a second. What's going on with your hand over there? I see a ring over there. What's happening?
Oh yeah, I'm married, bro. For sure.
When did you get married?
I mean, some of the viewers on my Instagram might know about that, but just recently.
Well, Mazel Tov.
Oh, assalamu alaikum, bro.
Okay. For those that don't follow you, could you tell us when did you get married? And this was of course to the Platinum Princess herself, right?
Yeah, man, March 30th.
Wow.
No, we ain't signed the papers yet. We gotta sign the papers.
Okay, but you did have a ceremony?
Yeah, we done. We married. That's it.
And
all you hoes need to back off.
Okay, all
I
right.
ain't got no hoes, bro. I already got rid of them.
Sure. And was this a spur of the moment thing, or were you planning it for a while?
Nah, bro. I've known about it since I met Danielle.
No, but to get married on this particular date, like, did you just wake up and do it, or did you guys have a whole thing, a whole ceremony?
No, we had a party. We had a lot of people there. It was good. It was a good time, man.
That's weird because I didn't get a save the date. I didn't get an invitation. I didn't get an email, a text.
Well, it wasn't like that, bro. We keeping it low key, man, because a lot of people like to talk a lot of shit, and we don't really fuck with a lot of people. So
I feel you.
We kept it low key with fam, and that was how it is.
Was it fun?
Yeah, bro. It's every day is fun. Every day is a great life. That's why I did it.
How did we go?
Anyways, let's talk about some fighting shit. Let's talk about fighting. I've been training. I feel better than I've ever felt my entire life. I feel great. Ain't nothing gonna stop me, bro. And I got one coming April 27th for y'all who didn't know. I think if they watching, they know though.
Yes. Cowboy Oliveira. That's a fun one in Florida, your backyard.
Yeah, let's go, man. Redemption.
Okay, why do you feel so good? What's changed?
Bro, I don't really understand it, but it's like I've always known how to fight, and then I overclouded my judgment thinking about shit too much, and now I think about all the same things, but I just fight way better. I don't know. I'm relaxed. I think about every point, and I ain't giving none away. Ain't no points being given away. So, and I can't be stopped. I can't be hurt. So when I stand there and wait for them to try to hurt me, it doesn't work out. And then they leave themselves susceptible to getting hurt by me. So let's go.
And did you have to teach yourself how to start feeling this way? How to change your mindset, or did it just happen gradually?
No, I think I fixed shit in my life. You know what I'm saying? And then everything came together. When I worked on Mike Perry, the Platinum Martial Arts really got loose.
Okay. And where are you training for this fight?
Fusion XL, where my old team, my day ones, my A1 day ones, you know what I'm saying? And Jacare Souza's over there. He's training with us. We're training with him. It's all a big happy family over here in Central Florida. Everybody knows what's up with us. And, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go down there to South Florida and show them what's up. And, they got some good people down there. Dean Thomas got some schools down there. And Masvidal's down there. He's good. Fuck Kobe Covington. He a bitch.
Whoa.
Oh, fuck that guy. He a bitch. Anyways, on to the next one.
Okay.
So Cowboy Oliveira, Brazilian opponent. Shout out to Brazilian martial arts, but I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah. Well, this one, you're a replacement. His original opponent pulled out. You came in. Like, what were the plans for you? I was starting to wonder. You hadn't fought since November. Did you want to take some time off? Then they call you for this fight that you're taking essentially on a month's notice?
I mean, I knew I was going to get back to it soon, but I was just working on my body, man. That armbar fucked up a lot of shit mentally and in my body, and just things wasn't going the way that I had pictured them to go. And now, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like I woke up a totally different man one day.
Wow. How long ago?
Shit.
Oh no, we lost the answer right there. We'll fight through this here. Mike, let me know if you can hear me. Might have to reconnect with Mr. Mike Perry. That was so much fun. I was having a blast there talking to him. As you saw on the graphic right over there, he does return to action on April 27th against Cowboy Oliveira. That's the card in Sunrise, Florida, headlined by Jack Hermanson versus Jacare Souza. Last time we saw Mike Perry was back in November at that 25th anniversary card UFC had in Denver. He fought Donald Cerrone. There was all kinds of drama heading into that fight. In the end, he got submitted via armbar. And now it seems like he is back in Central Florida and off the market, married. Because you'll recall, right after that fight, we spoke to him about getting back together with his longtime girlfriend who he trains with and who's in his corner often, very close to. And then they broke up. But then he told us last time he was on, after the Cerrone fight, that they were getting back together. But I did not know, my bad, that they actually got married. How fun is that? Beautiful when love materializes, especially for a fighter. I think it helps them, get on the straight and narrow. There he is. Mike.
Ariel, I apologize. Poor network connection, like I ain't got no money over here. I had to call my people real quick and get the internet working faster.
All good. Now it looks great. Whatever you did looks phenomenal.
I didn't do anything.
I was going to ask, because you said like all of a sudden you woke up and things started to change. And I think I asked you that, but then we didn't get your answer. We lost the connection.
Oh, shit. I guess I said March 30th, but.
Wow. That wasn't that long ago.
31st, whichever. No, I mean, it wasn't. And then I started training. It's like when I signed that contract, bro, I get to work. I have coaches that be like, man, try to stay consistent before you sign a contract. But I just have so many other things that be going on that I'll be working with and trying to handle in my life and shit. And also resting and recovering. That shit is real, bro. I'm 27 years old and I felt like I was 45 sometimes. It's hard to move around, and then I don't know. I've been working out consistent with making it to the gym 2-3 times a day, and it's filled my appetite up. So like I've been eating like a beast, and now I'm gonna have to get on this weight cut. Now that I'm working out more, I'm feeding myself more, and now I'm gonna have to cut down on the food. So that's when those injuries really come at you, where your body is weak, but you still have to work. So I'm gonna switch it up and go do some swimming, running, and make weight for this fight. And I'm gonna smash this guy, bro, and get on to the next couple, and then go get that title, bro.
I love this. Welcome back. When's the last time you felt this good? Or have you never felt this good, Mike?
Never felt this good, bro.
Wow. It's amazing. All you needed was to get the Platinum Princess back in your life.
Yeah, that's what it was, right?
I see you guys training together. Like, are you legit sparring together in the ring? What's going on there?
No. No, we do work together. I give her workouts. She usually doesn't want to work out with me because I end up going too hard with her and shit.
Okay.
But like, she's a beast, man. She really is. But she's not allowed to fight and shit on her family and me, and I'm not allowed to let her. I'll do all the fighting and get the money from it, and then we're gonna do other things. She do paperwork and real estate and marketing and whatever y'all want to do. Hit up Danielle. She got the right ideas for you.
Oh, she would actually want to be a fighter if she could?
Nah.
Okay.
That.
You don't want that, right?
We ain't even gonna talk about that, bro.
Okay, my bad.
She want to fight anybody. She gonna have to fight me first.
Okay. You don't want her to fight, I would imagine.
No, bro.
Will she be in your corner for this fight?
Yeah.
That's good.
She
guys are
earns her
magic.
spot. She's irreplaceable.
Yes. And so what?
I do be Magic Mike. She like to call me Magic Mike. Hey.
Isn't that movie based in Central Florida or it's?
I don't know. I never saw that movie, bro.
Man.
You saw that movie?
Phenomenal movie. I mean, the bodies on those guys, tremendous. All right, you should go check it out. Kevin Nash.
Better than ours, man.
Man, He's like a 45-year-old wrestler, and he's got an incredible body. Anyway, maybe even older, 50-year-old. So what happened at Jackson's? Why just one camp?
No, to me, it was one camp. It was two camps.
It was two
I
camps.
was ready to come back home after the first camp. Really, I mean, not take nothing away from them. It was a great experience, and they got a lot of knowledge over there, but it's a different life over there in New Mexico, too. I'm in Orlando, and they in New Mexico. You know what I'm saying? You can do the math on that. It's different, and it's beautiful over there, the clouds and shit, but like the sky is crazy because you're so high up, 5,000 feet in town. But I mean, I went over there and I learned that I never needed to go anywhere to get the things that I needed, the knowledge that I was looking for, what I was, you know what I'm saying, what I thought I might have been missing. It wasn't nothing, you know what I'm saying? So you got to pay attention to those that are around you, and you got to return the love that they've always given you. You got to give it back to them.
Is it nice?
The rest of the world don't fucking deserve it. They're a bunch of assholes that jump on Twitter warriors or whatever they call themselves, keyboard bitches.
I know.
I don't even read comments no more. Fucking haters.
That's it? You're done?
It's all good, though. What you mean I'm done? I'm done. I post pictures, I get likes. That's it. That's all I look at.
No, I mean done reading the comments.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just toxic, right? I mean, it kind of messes with your mind.
I don't let nothing fuck with my head no more.
Good man. Is it nice going into this fight? Like, there's no real drama between you and Cowboy, right? Like the last fight, you and Cerrone, a lot of drama. This one, no drama. It's nice, right?
Yeah, I feel like I can choose, you know, like, I feel like there's nothing telling me to tell myself that I don't want to win. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you don't want to win for this reason or this reason. No, I'm like, fuck that, I'm about to win this shit. It's like, I feel like I won already. I feel better than ever. I feel like I could tell the future, and I'm about to whoop this motherfucker's ass.
You're supremely confident.
Supreme.
I like it. Are you typically this confident before fights, or do you feel like everything that's going on in your life is making you even more confident?
I mean, I be ready to go, bro. That's who I am, man. I'm excited, but there was times when I was just tired of training and shit. I was just like, So, you know, now I'm feeling a little better. It feels good to get up and move and do things, and I'm gonna be excited to fight. I think we're gonna have an action-packed fight. I got an opponent who seemed, you know, you can never tell if these guys are gonna throw down or not. You get a different guy every time you enter the ring at this level, but you know, we should fight. And the way that I see it is like, it ain't gonna matter. I'm gonna take my time in there and just every single point, bro. I ain't giving nothing away.
By the way, did you go to Paris recently?
Nah, that was last year.
Oh.
Yeah, we went to Paris last year. We did a little bit of moving around, and then I tried to go to Jackson's and focus on training over there for something. But I had it right here, bro. I got it right here. Yep. I'm good.
I also wanted to ask, because I know the tattoos are a big part of your life. I saw that you posted about going to like a tattoo laser removal place. What are you taking away? What are we doing? What's going on?
It was just a little piece of one tattoo, and I was doing like some sponsorship for them.
Oh, okay.
So they was doing a little tattoo, and I was just doing some marketing for them, and you know, it's no big deal at all. It's crazy. One day, oh my bad. It's crazy. Sometimes there was like a little bit of time where I was looking at my tattoos, like, damn, maybe I would get them bitches all lasered off. Like, that shit hurt, but it's like, I felt like maybe I could have been a model or been in movies easier if I didn't have certain tattoos on my body. But then the next day I wake up and look at my shit and I'm like, man, my shit go hard, bro. This shit fit me. It's good for me. I don't care about nothing else. So, you know, whatever's good for me and the people that care about me, that's good enough.
Yes. I was just worried that you were going to get rid of the one here, the platinum one. That one's legendary.
No, Not yet. Maybe that'll fade on its own.
Yeah, does it? I was just gonna ask about that. That's why I was asking. Is it fading?
No, it's not. But I mean, maybe a little bit. All tattoos really do.
Yeah.
They say you get in that bare knuckle boxing ring with tattoos on your face, and you won't have a fucking tattoo when you leave that
That's
bitch.
right.
If you go in there fighting like Artem and Jason Knight.
Did you like that? Did you watch it?
I mean, I woke up and was like, "What happened? What happened? What's going on?" And then I went and watched. I watched the whole fight. The skill, though, like Artem and Jason Knight are very skilled fighters, but they just kind of like threw that shit out the window, and they were like, let's go for it." Nah, man, Floyd Mayweather in this bitch. I'm not trying to get touched by you. You stink. Get off of me, and I'm gonna crush your face when I touch you.
Yes.
That's my game. That's what I'm playing.
And last thing for you, Mike, is this the last fight of your contract?
Yeah, man, we playing some. I don't know. I mean, it is, but like people be talking, somebody be saying something, stuff don't come through. But it's all good. Like I'm willing to put it all on the line, and then have hopefully free pickings.
Yeah.
But obviously, I want to stay in the UFC, bro, and so I'm looking to win this fight to stay in the UFC, but also to hope that everybody tell the UFC they should pay me $500,000.
I agree.
Let's do it. Yeah, Ariel agrees.
But so the stakes are high. Like you're essentially betting on yourself in this one.
Yeah.
I like it.
I prefer it to be that way. Let's go. Put the stakes on. And actually, I would sign right now with certain deals or whatever, but I mean, it's whatever they want to do, bro, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do either way. That's the way I feel now mentally. I'm just like I'm gonna go and win a fight. That's it. It don't matter who, when, where, or why. I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna win this fight. And I'm gonna get on to the next one. I'm gonna do that too. Do it again. Do it again. It's time to get this hot streak, man. I should have. Shit, I talked to my stepmom and my pops recently, and my stepmom, she's so funny. She's like, I don't know why you lost any of them. She be watching the fights. I don't know what's taking them so long. He just knocked that guy out. Yeah, all right. I got you, ma. I got you. We're gonna do it. Let's do it.
I love it.
Everybody, it's time to let's do what I came for. Do what I came to do, man.
April 27th, Sunrise, Florida. The return of Mike Platinum Perry. He's back. Look at him.
Platinum Mike motherfucking Perry. It's Platinum Mike motherfucking Perry. I don't care where you put the platinum. I really don't. Just put the platinum in that bitch. Platinum time.
Mike Perry. Off the market. Stay away. He's taken. He's spoken for. And on April 27th, he's coming to win and secure the bag.
Let's go!
Mike, much love. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck. Oh, God, I love that man. That man is the best. Mike Perry. Platinum Mike Perry. My bad. I screwed up the nickname. He's fighting Cowboy Oliveira. Back-to-back Cowboy fights for Mike Perry. How about that? First it was Cowboy Cerrone. Now it's Cowboy Oliveira. All right, so that's April 27th. Now let's go back to April 20th. We're bouncing all over the place. April 27th, April 20th. Now let's go back to the St. Petersburg main event. We spoke to Alistair Overeem earlier. Now let's talk to the man who's stepping up on short notice, the boa constrictor himself, Alexey Oleynik. How are you, Alexey?
Hi to everybody. Thank you. I am good.
It's good to have you back on the show, Alexey. Okay, so you were supposed to fight May 4th in Ottawa, our nation's capital, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, against Walt Harris. But then you now stepped in a couple weeks earlier against Alistair Overeem. Why did you take this? Why did you take this opportunity? Do you like this fight better? You like the opportunity better?
Yes, opportunity better, and all my leave I take a challenge. This very big challenge for me. This very tough guy, legendary striker. And when UFC proposed me this fight, I'm said yes with pleasure.
Okay. And fighting in Russia, does that, I mean, that I would imagine that's pretty special for you, right? As a Russian fighter to get a chance to go back home after how well your fight in Moscow did against Mark Hunt.
Yes, but I fight in Russian. This is important for me, but most important name, my opponent. If UFC give me choose, fight with a big name in any other country or little not so big name in Russian, I take biggest name.
Right. I know because you've been tagging me on social media. You've been looking for a big name. You were talking about Derek Lewis. You were talking about Stipe Miocic. Were you frustrated? Because it seemed like you were ready to go since your fight back in September and that you couldn't get an opponent. Was it frustrating for you?
Yes, you're right. I ask any top-ranking opponent from September 16 for the next fight. For the next day after my fight with Mark Hunt, I ask any big name. But UFC don't give me this chance.
What happened?
At last I have.
Why couldn't you get a big fight? What was going on?
Repeat, please.
Why couldn't you get a big name? What was happening? What was the issue in finding you a big name opponent?
For me?
Yeah. They were saying no?
I'm 22 years in professional sports. I don't need low-ranking fight.
Yeah.
I'm not so young. I'm in UFC not only for money. I'm in UFC for my legacy. But you can do legacy with guys who don't have a big name.
No, I understand. But I was saying, based on what you were hearing, why weren't those big name fighters willing to fight you? Why was it so problematic? Why was it an issue to find you a big name fight? Because you certainly deserved one after beating Mark Hunt the way in which you did.
I don't know. I think I'm not very comfortable opponent. This first and second. Maybe somebody from guys may be right. I didn't want fight with low-ranking opponent too.
Right.
And this guy, if they more toppest than me, they don't fight with me. They can lose is very much, but they can win is too low. You know what I mean?
Sure. So we spoke to Alistair earlier, and he told me that he considers you a friend. You've trained together. He likes you very much, and he thinks that the stare down is going to be very funny. How would you consider him? Do you consider him a friend as well?
Yes, that's right. We train with him 2 or 3 times, couple of weeks each time. But we professional and my opinion for Alistair Overeem is very good. I don't have any bad emotions for him, bad feels something. I think about him very good. But I fight in UFC 8 times. This is my fight number 9. I can't fight each time with guys who is don't meet with me never. I told you I very long time in business. With many guys I train together. I spar. I meet with these guys, and this very difficult each time fight with guys who you don't know.
Right. What do you remember of your training sessions with Alistair? Did you feel like you were getting the better of him? What are your memories of that?
He very strong, and his grappling defense were very good. I can't choke him anytime.
You can or cannot?
I can't.
Oh wow! Does this worry you?
Little bit, yes.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Have you tried to get him with the Oleynik choke in the past? Was he because Alistair actually has underrated grappling defense and just grappling in particular. He's not known for that, but I've always felt like he's underrated in that department.
I think Alistair is too smart fighter for Oleynik choke. I can't do this submission third time in the UFC.
Yeah.
One time this sensation. Second time, what is this? Third time, I think this is impossible.
Right. And is it weird for you? Like, would you prefer to not fight a friend? Is that a little strange for you?
Excuse me, repeat please.
Considering you have a good relationship with him, is it weird for you to fight a friend?
After fight.
No, like to fight someone who you consider a friend, like Alistair. You have a good relationship with him. Is that strange for you? Is that weird? Or uncomfortable?
Not very comfortable, but as I said, I try stay professional and have a cold brain for this. This just sport, just fight. We enemy in the cage and we good friends outside cage.
Right. And right now you're still in Florida, right? You're going to Russia next week?
Yes, I stay in Florida. From 2 or 3 days, I must fly to Russia.
Yeah. And like going back to Russia, do you feel like you're getting like a hero's welcome, that they love you over there? Do you like fighting there because of how they treat you?
No, Russian fans is not so nice. One part of the fans wanted Overeem win. One part wanted Alexey win. This not you know what I mean.
Right.
This not one big family. This separate camp.
What do you expect in St. Petersburg?
What I wait?
What do you expect from them? Yeah.
I very want to show very good fight.
Okay.
Not slowly, not I don't know, bored, maybe.
Okay.
Sorry, my English, I don't have English words for this.
And you've come a long way. I remember when you were in my studio.
I hope all fans said, wow, what is that fight? Hell fight.
I think it's better than the original fight. I'm looking forward to it. April 20th, St. Petersburg, Russia. Alexey Oleynik against Alistair Overeem. Thank you for doing this, Alexey. Spasiba.
See you guys with God help.
All
See
right.
you April 20th.
That's right. April 20th on ESPN Plus. There's his resume, the boa constrictor. What an Ezekiel choke he has, or the Oleynik choke, as he likes to call it. All right, that's April 20th. Let's not waste any time because business has picked up, as they like to say. Look who is here. He actually made the trek, much to his chagrin. Dillon Danis. Nice to see you again.
Back again so fast.
Yes.
People want it, so you know.
I know. Wow, they love you.
Man, every comment on that picture you put was about me.
Talking to the microphone, yes. Yeah. Well, I know. But what do you make of that?
I like it. That means it's good. I mean, you could be like a Demetrius Johnson where no one even cares. So.
Oh my gosh, why Demetrius?
No, because I mean, like, think about it. He's one of the best fighters in the world. I think Floyd has said this before. You could be 30-0, you could be 40-0, but if no one wants to watch you, like, I mean, it doesn't really matter. So Demetrius is one of the best in the world. But no one, you know, if I was on the street and I was telling someone Demetrius Johnson's fighting tonight, I'd be like, yeah.
Right.
No, but like me, they'd be like, oh, I want to see that fucking guy get knocked out.
That's right.
At least
they care.
Yeah, it gives. I mean, there's always, you need conversation. You need people to be talking. So I imagine you posted and not one person said something. That's the problem. You know, when no one's saying nothing at all. So I enjoy it.
When they're indifferent.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be controversial in a way, I guess.
Well, let me be the first to welcome you to exotic Bristol, Connecticut.
Well, our ride here was tough. I'm not gonna lie.
What was it like? How much you hate me right now?
A lot. I'm not gonna lie. I get car sick, so it was pretty tough.
Are you sick right now?
Yeah, me and Chael are both struggling.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and we were in a big bus too, and it was not fun.
They didn't get you like a Lincoln?
The jet, they didn't fill up the jet when I was coming, so they said there was, you know what I mean?
Were you and Chael in the same car?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty cool though.
They got you a bus?
It wasn't a bus. It was like one of those like nice like those Mercedes ones.
Oh, okay.
One of those nice
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's still big, and like when you get car sick, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you throw up?
No, but I was close.
Really?
Yeah, I was close.
Like, were you thinking about having them stop the car?
No, because I didn't want to be like the guy that was like the bitch. You know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if someone else said it, but yeah. But no, like I didn't want to start it.
Remember, you used to come in like Midtown Manhattan. We were down like where like you
I'd
were
rather that
on your scooter.
This is a lot cooler though. This is like
this is big time.
Yeah.
So you don't hate me too much.
No. I enjoy. It's
Okay.
good. All in good fun, you know.
Yes. So like you said, we spoke like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. At this point,
It might have been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
A lot of articles came from that, so you get.
That's right. That's right. That's why I had
a lot of headlines. A lot of headlines.
The boost of the ratings.
A lot of people act like they don't want me on, but in reality, they all tune in anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
It reminds me of Howard Stern. They once did a poll about Howard Stern, and they found out that the people that claim that they hate him actually listen double the amount of time than those who say that they are fans.
All the haters turn into fans eventually, so
that's right.
It is what it is.
Now, we are not in New York anymore.
No.
We're in Bristol.
What's out here? Is there anything else to do here?
No, there's absolutely nothing
I
to
was
do.
gonna say.
There's a great hotel. They give
Stephen
you
A. Smith here. I wouldn't mind meeting him.
No, he's not. He's
big
in
fan
New
of him.
York.
He's hilarious.
You like that guy?
Oh, of course.
He's a big MMA guy.
Is he?
Yes, huge.
I like Kellerman too, but Stephen A. Smith is hilarious.
Kellerman's an old school boxing guy, but Stephen A. really loves UFC and Bellator. He comes up and talks to me about the fights all the time. Like he really follows it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I always wanted to meet him. That would be cool.
Very down to earth. But I was trying to set you up because the last time you were on, May 11th, you announced that you were fighting, you were returning to action, but the plans have changed. Please tell us, and talk into the microphone so the world can hear you.
I like to lean back. You know?
Yes, I know you're chill.
So yeah, we switched the card. Now I'm fighting in Madison Square Garden, which is ridiculous for me. You know, I live 1 block away from Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
I mean, the greats have fought there: Ali, Connor, Prince Nazim, which is like to me, I'm a big Prince Nazim fan. Tyson. So you know, it's really cool, and especially just being 2-0 and fighting an MSG on the main card.
What do you mean 2-0? 1-0?
I'm sorry, 1-0. Yeah. Well, I'm foreseeing it. You know what I mean? Yeah, my bad. But in my mind, I'm 10-0. So yeah, but I mean, Madison Square Garden. I live 1 block away from my apartment. I could see Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
So it's a amazing thing. All my friends are gonna be able to come. I mean, I lived in the city for like 4 or 5 years now. I grew up in New Jersey. It's gonna be a sellout, and that's why they wanted me on the show. You know, they know that I bring the eyes. I'm a Manhattan guy, and I'm really excited. You know, it's something I can't even put into words to fight in MSG. You know, so it's gonna be awesome.
So to recap, you were supposed to fight in Chicago, just outside of Chicago, and now you're fighting on that June 14th card.
They moved me.
They moved you.
Yeah.
Was this you? Like, did you reach out when you found out they were coming to MSG? Did you say they came to you?
Yeah, they're like, I mean, I'm the guy to come to for that. For New York, I'm the guy to come to. So they came to me and they said, you know, you're going. They didn't even ask me. It was just like, you're doing it, which they know that I always want to fight in New York. So.
But it's a month later.
Yeah, that's good though.
You don't care?
No, I get more time to train, more time to cut weight. I mean, it just makes everything easier.
Right.
You know, I could have beat this guy tomorrow if I need to. You know, the opponent is not there. I'm training to be the best in the world. This guy is just more important than that cup right there. You know, so I'm training to be the best in the world. I don't see this guy. I see the champion, Roy McDonald. So, yeah, I want to be the best in the world.
Okay. So same opponent though.
Yeah, same opponent.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the guy. I'm not gonna lie.
Why?
He's been around for because I was supposed to fight before the Khabib fight, and then I broke my orbital bone in my sacroiliac arch in a sparring session. So then that fight got scarred. It wasn't like a signed fight. It was like we're doing.
Oh, okay.
And then I got that, and I was like, oh no, I can't fight that. And then we were gonna do the fights for the. I think one was in Connecticut, and then the commission happened twice, and then this fight. So it's been like 4 or 5 times where we're supposed to fight.
Man.
So at least he gets. I mean, he gets a fight in Madison Square Garden on a main card, so he should thank me.
Are you on the main card?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah.
Such a troublemaker.
I love bringing that. Well, you every time when I say that you're going to be on, I hear from your friend AJ. He writes me, "Why do you have him on?" And it's like,
come on, I'm fighting in Madison Square Garden.
I know.
0-1 running triathletes with retired fighters. So, I mean, it doesn't even compare. I mean, yeah, it doesn't compare. I'm the one that everybody wants to talk about. I just went to a jiu-jitsu tournament on Saturday, and every single person's calling me out. So it's like everybody just wants to say my name. You know how it is. And then you get headlines. We talked about this. Ben Askren. Right. I beat him in the beef. I mean, I ended that beef, and then I offered him a grappling match. He didn't take it, which I can understand because he's gonna lose. But like that would be like me telling you, like I challenge you to like a radio or whatever you do, and you'd be like, yeah. Like ask me to do a jiu-jitsu match right now, I would say yes. I challenged him to a wrestling match. Didn't hear anything from him. A wrestling match and beat the streets. That is possible. We could both do it. easily. We could both do it. I'll sign it, and he can sign it, and that's his sport. And he said no. So, or he didn't answer.
Right.
So if he asked me to do a jiu-jitsu match right now and said, let's do it, sign the contract, I would say yes right away. Not even a hesitation. So that just shows that he can't, you know? So, I mean, I don't want to keep talking about him because he's, you know, obviously doesn't want to do anything. It's like I'm bullying him now.
Right.
But how can he beat me in a fight? Was he going to kick me? I'm going to take him down. Was he going to try to take me down? I'm going to submit him off my back. He has no stand-up. So how is he going to beat me? So, I mean, it's just stupid to keep talking about it, I guess.
Yeah, so what I heard is that he's going to wrestle Jordan Burroughs.
It's not true.
It's not true?
I don't think it's true. I think it's just a rumor.
Okay.
And that's
you think he's doing that to deflect?
I would imagine. I mean, Jordan Burroughs is a little bit easier in the match than me in wrestling.
Stop it.
That one I won't go with. I actually like Jordan Burroughs. Me and him, we were supposed to train together, actually.
Olympic gold medalist, for those that don't know, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably easier mentally because, you know, he knows if he loses to me, then it's like his career is over. But if he loses to Jordan Burroughs, it's like, I lost to the best guy in the world. It's not that big of a deal, you know? So it's kind of like a safety net for him.
I'm surprised he didn't respond to you.
He
said something like, "What? You were not loved."
Yeah,
but he's not actually responding. He's not giving you what you want.
It's like a little turd. Like I don't understand why his boom roasts are so like they're stupid. He's like anybody can come up with that with like it's so stupid. It's like, oh, you suck, boom roasted. Like you don't need two brain cells to make up a joke like that or whatever. It's stupid, but yeah. I mean, who cares about him?
Yeah, because that all stemmed from your last appearance on the show. He went on like a rampage.
Then he went on a rampage too. So I was like, okay, he made like 4 videos. I got him back. I thought I had the better of the exchanges. I don't know. What would you say?
I don't want to get in between this.
Fine, man. Well, you think Ben Askren? You could probably beat Ben Askren in a fight. You'd be fine.
In a fight?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Come on.
No, actually, he challenged me to a fight.
Did he?
One time. Yeah, back in the day.
Oh, wow.
He didn't like that I said I think his fight against Douglas Lima wasn't entertaining. I think it was.
Yeah.
And he didn't like that. And he said like,
just work on your hands a little bit, some takedown defense. You know, you'd be fine. Don't worry. The one trick pony.
Why him? Like, why do you keep?
Because I just think it's a good matchup for me.
Okay.
And he's a big name, and he's 20. What is he? 19-0.
Something like that.
If I'm 1-0 and I go beat a guy like that, then no, everybody could shut up. Because right now, what does everybody want from me? They want me to do this and that, so they just want me to prove myself. I already have the big name and the fame and stuff, so like they really just wants me to prove myself. So let me do it.
Right.
You know.
And Bellator would have let you do that.
I would imagine. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, they just traded him and stuff, so like those things are possible. Cross promotion fights and stuff.
Sure.
They let Caldwell go to Ryzen.
Right.
So they've done stuff like that before, so it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Sure.
Yeah, so why not? I mean, everybody wants it anyway. It's not the only one. Who else is calling me out? Every single fighter's calling me out. So
no, it's amazing.
Dos Anjos, guys like that. Imagine being those guys' record and how many years they've been in the game, and they're calling out a guy that's 1-0. So.
Is there ever a moment though, like when you're reading the comments and it ever like affect like, man, come on, you're a human being.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a human being.
It makes me sad.
Sometimes I feel like my friends and family sometimes look at it more. They're like, oh my god. I'm like, nah, you know, it is what it is. I have tough skin. I mean, sometimes it does get like a little weird, like going to the jiu-jitsu thing, and like some people seem like they're just like so standoffish towards me, you know.
Really.
And
which tournament was this?
This is the Kasai on Saturday. I almost got jumped like 3 times.
Come on.
Yeah, I swear to God.
By who?
I mean, I don't know if I want to say names, but
okay.
I mean, a couple Gracie guys, but
legit jumped.
Yeah, like they were trying to. But you know, like for me, I'll just stand my ground, and it is what it is. I never say anything bad about those guys anyway. I think they just don't like my. I don't know. I just don't think they like me. But you know, it is what it is. Henzo is a great guy. I love Henzo. I posted a picture with him. He's a great guy. But yeah, sometimes that gets to me a little bit. Just seeing like. Some people are like the guy I was sitting next to is like kind of like weird at me and like standoffish, like, oh, I train, and I'm thinking like, dude, like, come on, you know what I mean? So that's the one thing that gets me. The people online, they don't know me, they don't know me from a hole in the wall, so they don't really know me, they don't know anything I do, you know, they never hung out with me and stuff like that. So most of the people that hang out with me, they all love me. So
right, I
usually get that question though. A lot of my friends tell me, like, everybody asks them like, oh, is that Dillon guy like a douchebag, you know? So it's kind of funny, but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, I just think like it gets it must be exhausting. Like
it does. I mean, I'm human too.
Yeah,
but
you go to this thing, you're probably going there just to have fun, right? You weren't competing.
In the beginning, when I started getting like all this stuff, you know, and I was like, holy shit, this is crazy, you know.
Yeah.
I used to get it a lot because I was kind of like the bad guy in jiu-jitsu anyway, but it wasn't to the level that it is now. I mean, 100, 200 comments compared to 1,000, 7,000 comments I get sometimes. And I talked to Connor about it in the beginning, you know, and he obviously gave me good advice and stuff like that, like. You know, so I'm just.
What did he say?
It was a long time ago, but I think we just talked about, you know, these people don't know you. You know, they're not. You know, he was like, if I looked at every comment, you know, it's
right.
just people that are, you know, just bitter. And he explained that to me. You know, when you start getting up in in the game and up in the world. You know, a lot of bitter and jealous people want to hate on you and try to bring you down for anything you do. So, you know, it just comes with the territory. So
I think jealousy is the root of a lot of this. People want...
Well, same thing we go back to, you know, you could be a guy that no one even cares about, you know, you could get... So, I mean, for me, this comments, engagement, people hating me, it all goes into my pocket at the end of the day. So I'm the one that has to go out there and prove it. So at the end of the day, I'm the one that has to go out there and do it. So,
have you decided where you're going to train for this fight?
I've been training in New York. I have a good thing going on. I might go to Ireland.
Where do you train in New York?
UND Jiu-Jitsu, and then I go to a gym in Hoboken.
Okay.
Train at night, and I just train. You know, my friend Manchur Kerr, he's fighting kickboxing, and he's transitioning into MMA. So me and him are just good for each other. You know, we have similar body types and stuff, so it's good. I train with him a lot, and just doing my thing. You know.
Okay. And then, so will you go to SBG if you?
So I'm not sure yet. I have to talk to John and Connor and see what's up with that. And I think I want to. It just sucks going to Ireland because, like, you know, I like being home, sleeping in my own bed, especially in a fight camp. You know, it gets stressful and doing media and stuff. So it's nice to be at home and have my dog and, you know.
And now you're in love.
Yeah, in love, you know. So
I mean, the Instagram is just, it's a lot.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about.
Well, what happened?
I just thought, I don't know, I thought it was a little bit too much, but I was like, all right, well, it was good though. It had like 5,000 comments.
Wait, what are you referring to?
Some video I posted.
Yes. What was going on there? I thought it was like a
everybody
mistake.
was like, yeah, I don't know what I could say on this show, but
it's just, you can say whatever you want.
Everybody was like, I thought I was watching Pornhub or something. And I was like, no.
You and your girl. Wait, why did you post that though?
No, it was just a good video, and it made everybody mad, so it was good.
Then why'd you take it down?
Just wanted to tease people, you know.
Okay, and that was it.
Yeah, so it was a good little, you know. I left it up for a good amount of time where enough people saw it. I went to the gym that night. Everybody was like, dude. What? I was like, people that like, I went to like, I don't know where I was. I was like somewhere. And some guy, oh no, I went to dinner that night.
Okay.
Some random guy was like, dude, that video, man. And I was like, holy shit. So everybody saw
some random dude.
Yeah, some random dude.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
What is your like your mom? What does she say about that? Or did she not see it?
She didn't see it. I haven't heard from her yet. So I was more worried about her mom than.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is her mom on Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it doesn't seem like she cares too much about her mom.
Yeah, her younger brother and stuff. But no, it wasn't bad. It was nothing bad.
But you were smitten.
Yeah, there was nothing bad.
But no, you're in love.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's good.
But I have to say I'm a little.
She came to the jiu-jitsu event with me.
Okay.
I thought she would be bored, but she was like asking questions and like, she was asking like, how do you pull guard without a grip? And I was like,
wow.
This is great. And she sat there the whole time. They put me on the screen. I got booed. I don't know if she's ever dealt with anything like that. Yeah. So I don't know. It was pretty intense. It was a lot for her to handle, like people trying to fight me, people coming up to me, this and that, and she handled it well, which was cool, you know. Wow. Yeah, but I was surprised, but that was awesome.
But when you're in love and you're about to train for a fight, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because now you have some other stuff on your mind.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that was one thing I was thinking about because she's obviously never dated a fighter and never been around that game. And when you start cutting weight and stuff, it gets into a different level of just personality. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I've been doing this since I was a kid, training every day. It doesn't. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people put a lot different. I feel like a lot of people put too much thought into things. Like, you know, like there was like things talking about ring rust and stuff like that. Yeah. I think it's just bullshit. And there was one thing that everybody was telling me, you're 1-0 or 0-0 going to a big show, everybody folds. And, you know, you've never been in that cage before. Like, you have to do amateur. You have to do this. And I was like, no, you know, it is what it is. So, I don't know. No, I don't think anything of it. I think it's just business as usual. And when you believe in yourself and you train hard, there's nothing that's going to stop you, you know?
Last time you were on, like 3 hours later, whole thing in Miami happens. Like 9 things have happened with Connor since. What's going on? What could you tell us?
I don't know. I mean, you had to ask him that. He gave me with that, but
there's a lot.
Everything's going on. I mean, nothing's going on. You hear a lot of things. You know how media is. Obviously, you know how everything is. It's just all rumors and stuff like that. So you just can't believe anything until you talk to him. You know, that's what I would say. But he's doing good. You know, I talk to him almost every day. I send him my sparring footage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of course. I do a boxing sparring, and I'll send him the footage, and he'll critique me with like a long paragraph, say you need to work on this, do that. So he's always there for me, and you know I appreciate having him a lot, and especially like the way I jumped into the game 0-0, going right into it, a lot of hype, a lot of pressure, a lot of stuff. There's no one better than having him because you know he's dealt with it all. I never seen anybody deal with pressure the way he does, or anything. Like it's crazy. I've been with him the night before a fight, and it's like. We're hanging out watching Netflix. Like it's crazy. I never seen anything like it. He's a different kind of breed of human. Like, so learning from him it's crazy.
Right. But you know there was and some other fighters mentioned it, and I don't think I'm stretching by saying this, but like when I saw that picture of him and Khabib, like when they were, it reminded me, and I think you know the reference, right? You know the one I'm referring to, right?
You're talking about?
It reminded me of Biggie and Tupac. This is getting too much. It's getting too serious. I don't want it to go down that road, you know?
I hope not to. I mean, I never thought
it's
of it.
It's getting scary.
Like that,
it's getting scary. Do you agree? Like it's getting too personal.
I think, I would think on maybe Khabib's end more, you know.
Well, to be fair, it's getting personal on Conor's end too. Like it should, family, wives, kids, none of that should be talked about, right?
I mean,
there has to be a line, right?
I mean, obviously, you don't want to see anything happen like that or anything.
I don't want to. That's really what the first thing that came to mind.
I didn't even think about that, to be honest. I didn't know what you were talking about. I was like,
sorry. You know the famous picture of
no, of course.
Tupac?
Yeah.
And then, of course, what happened to them? I don't want that to happen.
No,
and it feels
I hope not to.
There's some. Let's be honest. There's some crazy people involved here.
Yeah, there is.
Right? And
I found out the other day that someone tried to bring a gun into T-Mobile Arena. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't. That
someone got stopped at the door coming into T-Mobile with a gun and stuff, which is scary because I've been getting death threats just from off
for that fight.
That was different. That I got tons. I'm talking about now.
Tried to bring a gun for that fight.
Yeah, for that fight.
Oh no, I didn't.
And
hear
then
that.
now I've been getting even more.
You get a lot.
I got a lot after the fight, and then now they're just starting to recome, saying my family's names, saying everything. There's some serious things.
What is that? Yeah.
Anything. I mean, obviously, I had to focus on a fight. I had to focus on things, and it's obviously not the things I want to be thinking about. But
you guys don't stop.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
I see the pictures you post and things like that. You're not deterred by any of this. Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess it comes with the territory. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know. I don't really want to.
Feel like there's a line that we shouldn't cross at this point. Like, what do we?
I mean, he made a tweet after saying, I want to.
No, and that was very good. I was happy.
It was really good what he said and stuff.
But it could get people can read one thing, not see that tweet, and it just gets worse. Yeah, and I'm saying this for you too. Like, there's some crazy people out there.
Yeah, tell me about it. And trust me, I've been in situations where I had crazy people, come up to me and say things like that, and you never know, especially nowadays. So I always keep my eyes open and very smart. One thing I'll say is like, I wouldn't say. I think when people get into a certain place in life, they get comfortable and they forget about where they came from and stuff. And I think you just always have to be switched on. And that's one thing Conor always emphasizes, is staying switched on. And no matter what it is in life, finances, business, if you get lazy and you get comfortable, is when you get caught in business, in fighting, if you're not switched on in everything. So I think always staying switched on to everything. When I go out to go get dinner or if I go out to somewhere, I'm always paying attention. I always make sure everything is okay. So, I mean, I think when you get lazy and comfortable or something like that, or you just forget, I think that's when things can get. So, obviously this is the life we chose. And I mean, it's turned into something like that. And you just have to, I guess, roll with the punches.
When you're in the car for 2 hours with Chael, you guys talk about the psychology of the fight game and things like that?
Chael's awesome. We talked about everything. Wrestling, freaking jiu-jitsu, freaking, I don't know.
Is that your first time talking to him?
No, we talked a couple times. He's always been awesome to me. Me and him always get along.
Oh, right, because you also competed for...
I fought in SUG. And like, it's Chael's son, and like, for me, growing up, Chael was the man. Like, I loved watching Chael, like, especially when he fought Anderson. I for some reason, I didn't like Anderson. Like, growing up, I thought he was like a little too cocky with like the showboat and stuff, and I was like, man, I want Chael to get him, And I was rooting for Chael on that fight.
That video that you posted, the proper whiskey video, what was really in that bottle?
It was proper.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm not
you
joking.
can't chug that.
You can.
What are you talking about?
You could definitely chug that.
I mean, it was brilliant. A good job on your part.
Half Irish. I'm adopted Irish.
Oh, is it water? Apple juice?
You could look at it. It was whiskey.
Legit?
Yeah. And I went to train after 3 hours.
You'd get alcohol poisoning from that.
Wouldn't.
Really?
No.
Downing whiskey like that?
No, you wouldn't.
It was nice. It was a nice gesture for your friend.
A couple million views on it too. I was like,
it was crazy. Who thought of that? What's going on back here?
Yeah, I got like from the gloves.
Oh,
I'm talking about from training.
Really?
Yeah, from the Velcro, because I don't tape the gloves.
Okay.
I get like a lot of, especially like in the back of my head and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad.
So you're actually training?
Yeah, of
You're
course.
taking this seriously?
Yeah, I don't know why people always think that. Like, of course. You think I'm stupid? You don't want to go in there and get my head kicked off?
That's right.
MMA is serious, man. And I said this before. You don't want to take MMA lightly, because this could change your life, brain damage and stuff.
Sure.
So it's scary stuff.
How are you feeling about the striking? Like, if
it's hard, man. It's hard being good at one thing and then being a beginner again. So
yeah,
it's very hard. And
what's the toughest part?
I can't lie.
You hate it.
It sucks.
You don't enjoy it?
I mean, I enjoy learning, but then sparring is like, you're used to being the man and like training hard and being able to be like that, and then all of a sudden, you go with guys, and it's obviously sucks, but I feel like mentally it's gonna make me a lot stronger and pay off in the end.
Humbling.
Yeah, because I feel a lot of grapplers, they get into the sparring and they start training and then they can't pull it off. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they just neglect it, which I'm going straight in, sparring with boxers, taking, just going for it. So that's one thing I think that it's very good. Your body's not going to let you keep fucking up. So it's just the same thing as jiu-jitsu. You got to keep going. Consistency is the key. And that's one thing I learned from Marcelo Garcia. Consistency, being in the gym every day, twice a day, and then everything else will do, kind of handle itself. But it does suck, I'm not going to lie.
What about like getting punched in the face? Are you used to that?
That doesn't suck, but I mean, obviously it sucks, but
Yeah.
that's not like something I'm you know what I mean, shy away from. But it's worse in jiu-jitsu, because in jiu-jitsu you just tap and then you keep going. I mean, now you're taking big punches to the face, of the stomach, So yeah, but it comes with the territory, and when you want to be the best, you gotta sacrifice. It's not easy, It's a hard life. It's a hard life choice, and it's a hard life path to choose. And I learned that.
For someone like you, is the ceiling higher in MMA in terms of how much money you can make than you can ever dream of making in BJJ?
100%.
It's not even close?
I made in my first fight way more than I ever made in.
Oh, really?
I mean, obviously, it's just jiu-jitsu is just not at that level, and I hope it will be one day. And I'm actually still not even doing jiu-jitsu, and I feel like I'm bringing it up. And Flow Grappling posted a picture of me and someone in jiu-jitsu. It's like it goes all over, So I want to help it out, and like even going to the event and stuff, and just making sure that I'm always there for my community. And it's good to go to those events too. I see a lot of my friends that I grew up with and stuff like that, and yeah, it's good.
So speaking of which, you mentioned him. What's up with you and Marcelo?
He was there on Saturday. He didn't say anything to me.
Come
nothing.
on.
Man, nothing.
We need to figure this out.
I mean, I don't think it would ever be squashed because of him, but
Why? You think he's going to hold on to the grudge forever?
I think so. Especially I was giving the finger and stuff there. He probably hates that.
What?
I got
Giving him the figure?
No.
Oh.
To the crowd, because they put me on the screen. They were all booing me, and then there was like one guy that was screaming the craziest shit at me, and I was like, oh fuck, I'll flip him off. But yeah, he probably hates that.
Oh my gosh.
He probably wasn't happy. I was there.
So you see him, he sees you. You don't talk.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
No acknowledgement.
Nope.
This is a guy that like you
I
grew
know,
up.
You're telling me. That's
got to be weird, no?
Yeah, I mean that's just him though.
How many years together?
Wow. Since I was
This is
young.
your
He knew me
sensei.
since I was a kid. We lived in the same apartment complex, like in like three doors away from each other. I used to go to his house, play video games, Grand Theft Auto. He used to make me acai. Yeah, crazy, right?
And you still flipped off the crowd with him watching.
Yeah, but I mean, like a finger, like Donald Trump has given the finger, like a president. Like, you know what I mean? Like babies give the finger. It's like,
Sure.
like, come on. I mean, one thing that I feel betrayed in is you should know your own, and like he knows me, he knows who I am in the gym, and he still traded on me in a way, or betrayed me in a way, kicking me out, like I don't know. I just think that that's the part that hurts me, is that you should have your own's back until the end. And maybe he just, I don't know, that's the thing that bothers me, because I always had his back.
Right.
So I would never, if he gave a finger to someone, I'd be like, hey bro, like, you get out. You're not my sensei anymore.
Right.
And yeah, ask anybody who's ever trained with me, anybody in the gym, So that's the one thing that bothers me and stuff. And I guess you can't change him.
Because you've always been this way.
Yeah, I mean, but I've been getting in trouble with him for years, but it was never over anything crazy.
Right.
Even when I talked to John Donner, he was like, I'm surprised you got kicked out, like, for that. He's like, come on. Like, so, and he's a guy that I had a rivalry with his team, and like, so I never did anything. Like, if I told you all the things I did, you'd be like, I might, like, like my son probably did that freaking, like, it's not even a big deal.
Right.
Like, he was acting like I killed someone.
Right.
So I could give you an example of getting suspended once, was giving a picture, giving the finger on Instagram. And I got suspended for 6 months from my black belt, and from the gym. It was like a big deal.
What?
Yeah.
6 months?
I think it was 6 months we didn't get our black belts. For
Wait,
giving.
you posted a picture of you doing it?
Yeah, I mean, I could tell the whole story, but I don't know if it was like kind of like a serious thing at the time. But
What do you mean? Tell us the story.
I was dating a girl not dating a girl, but I was with a girl from the gym.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say names, obviously.
All right, no problem.
And me and her.
She was training at the gym?
Yeah, and she came from Brazil, and she was living with me for like 6 months, I think. Maybe a little bit less, but we were living together, everything, and then we stopped talking. Okay. And one of the guys in the gym was like, yo, man, like, I'm talking to her. I'm trying to help you get back with her. And like, he was one of my friends. Then they posted a picture of them dating New Year's, kissing. And I didn't know. And I was like, I was out on New Year's. I had a couple drinks. And then me and my friends, we put a picture, I gave him the finger, just because I was in a bad mood. I'm 18, 19 at the time. And like World War III happened. Like, boom, it was crazy. Like, I didn't, like, that's not even that big of a deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so That's like
hurt.
That's yeah, exactly. I was hurt. Imagine one of your friends saying that, and he was like giving me advice. He's like, yeah, I'm with her, I'm talking to her, and then that happened. And you know what? We're all human. Like I'm having a drink and I get upset, and I'm like, that's like a girl that was like living with me, and he gets mad at me for giving the face. Like, you know what I mean? He should have got mad at the guy for doing that. That's like, that's grimy shit.
Right.
So just think about that, and like, I don't know. It's
so you got suspended 6 months for that?
Yeah, we're supposed to get our black belts, and then we got our black belts got suspended.
Okay, but you can still come to the gym.
Yeah, we could still go to the gym, but I was ready. Like, you know, we're supposed to get black belts is a big thing.
Yeah, of course.
And for doing that, and like, you know, it was a big deal too. Like, you know, it wasn't like it went over easy. So
right,
these are the things that happen, and that's nothing. That's like 10-year-old kids are giving the finger on Instagram now. I mean, come on, it's not that big of a deal. But it is what it is. That's just who he is. And I still have nothing bad to say. I told you this before, like, that was his decision, and it is what it is.
Did you see Artem's fight on Saturday?
Crazy, huh?
What a legend.
Awesome.
You see his face after?
Oh, my God. Man, those guys, the scar tissue is intense. Man, only that going to be an Artem fight, though, man. That was awesome, you know? And that's the kind of person Artem is. He loves that stuff.
He does. We spoke to him earlier. He's like, his eyes, both of them are closed, and he's loving it. He's on cloud 9.
That's a different
hand
breed,
looks like it's like a freaking ball.
I'm so happy for him too, and now he's gonna make a lot of money with Paulie. You know, he deserves a big money fight like that. And I'm telling you, I think he's gonna shock the world. I say he beats Paulie.
You think so?
Man, boxing is a lot different. I learned this in my first fight. When you had the big gloves and then you go to the small gloves, it's not the same. Any boxer could probably tell you that. When you got those big gloves and you're covering up, those little, especially those hands will fit in spots that he's not going to see coming. And trust me, Artem is it's probably one of the toughest dudes in the world.
Right.
Never been, like, he has like a chin of granite. He's going to keep walking Paulie down. He's going to be hitting him with big shots, and I say he stops him. So.
Wow. But you're a New York guy, so you're going to go for Paulie, right?
I actually fought him. Did I ever tell you that I fought Paulie's brother, Umberto? So his brother is a black belt under Marcel. But before I went to Marcel's, we did jiu-jitsu tournament.
Wow.
He was a really good competitor, and I beat him. And yeah, we still talk here and there.
Really?
Yeah, he's cool. I mean, he was a Marcelo guy for a long time.
What's his name?
Umberto Malinology.
Okay. So he's a black belt.
I think now he's a black belt. He might be. I'm pretty sure he's a black belt. But we competed before I went to Marcelo's, and then I went to Marcelo's, joined the team. Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty funny. It all comes full circle. But
but obviously you go for Artem.
Yeah, obviously it's my teammate, and you know I'm very close to Artem. So.
What's your earliest memory of going to MSG? First time you ever went to MSG?
I mean, do
you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Have you been to MSG?
Yeah, I've been there for Knicks games. I've been there for concerts. I've been there for
like, is this a thing that you even because
it's MSG? Yeah, you know, and especially being like such a fan of some of the guys that fought there, like being in the same arena as Prince Nassim is crazy. You know, I'm a big Prince Nassim fan. Conor fought there, Tyson, Muhammad Ali.
Ali Frazier won.
Yeah, it's the craziest feeling ever just to go there, and then being 2-0. Like I fought on the same card as Fedor.
It's 2-0 again.
I know. I keep saying that. Yeah. Sorry. It's good though. It's my positive thinking. I instill this in my brain. But think about like I'm 1-0. Or I was 0-0 fighting on the same card as Fedor, Frank Mir.
Right.
This is a guy that came up in MMA, like watching every fight, having every DVD. You know, so like, and now I'm fighting on a card with Chael and Machida, and just it's a blessing. You know, as much as people hate me, I put myself in this position. It's not easy. You know, the amount of work I do physically and mentally. You know, like you said, I'm only human. This stuff is draining after a while.
Right.
So obviously, I put myself in this position, and I've been visioning it since I was a kid. But just think about that. It's like, what kid that came up in MMA would be fighting on the same card as Fedor, like Chael and Machida, so many guys, Mir. It's just crazy. It's surreal. And now I'm fighting in Madison Square Garden.
You were in Conor's corner when you fought Eddie Alvarez there, right?
That was surreal.
If I would have told you then that you would end up fight like that, they would move you to put you on this card to beef up the card, ticket sales. You're a New York guy. Would you have believed me in less than 3 years?
I would. Yeah, I'll try to be humble, but like I obviously thought like I always was gonna do it. But you're probably right. I would be like, holy crap, that would be amazing. And yeah, it's surreal. When Conor found out I was fighting, and I'm sure he texted me like, "That's awesome, man. I'm so happy for you. Love it." And yeah, it's cool. So it's like from being there and now I'll be in the middle in the fight. It's awesome.
How many people do you think you'll bring to this?
Yeah, I'll bring like the amount of people I'll bring, and plus like high level people. Like it'll be. I kind of feel bad because I'm not the main event, so I'm like they should be thanking me. I'm gonna bring tons of people. But
yeah, where's your cut?
Yeah, exactly.
Chael should be thanking you.
Yeah, exactly. I like Chael though, man. I was telling him in the car, like fighting on the same card as him is like. Crazy. So yeah, it's very cool. Sometimes we get sidetracked and when things are just going and they're going, and then sometimes you sit down and you look at how cool things are, from being a guy that was watching Chael Anderson sitting there watching pizza with my friends, like after a training session,
Right.
being on the same card as him in Madison Square Garden. You just have to like, you know, you have to appreciate it, and it's very cool.
Will Connor be in your corner? When's he going to corner you? Return the
I
favor.
don't think he corners people though. I don't think
Why
that's his
not?
thing. I don't know. I
He's
don't think
cornered, Charlie Ward
I
before.
think he was just,
there?
Yeah. But no, I hope he would come. It's in Madison Square Garden.
I mean, you cornered him at MSG. It's only fair that he corners you at MSG.
You're telling him, not me. But no, I would hope he would come. You know, he's a busy dude. Obviously, he's doing the whiskey stuff. He has a lot, but he's helping me for this camp even when he's not here. You know, with everything. It would be awesome for him to come. That would make, you know, even the night more special because you know, he's obviously a close friend of mine and somebody I look up to and someone that it would just be awesome. But you know, you never know how things work out with time, and he has 2 kids, and
Right.
you know, I wouldn't expect it out of him. That's not
Sure.
the kind of person I am, you know. So
Well, I'm very happy for you.
appreciate
Congrats
it.
on
Thank you for
getting
having
this.
me.
Yes, thank you for
It's cool.
coming.
Yeah.
I feel honestly.
I know you took a lot of heat for having me 2 times, and
I
like,
don't care. I'll have you on as much as I want.
No,
I don't
exactly.
listen to those people. No, but I say to the guys like CJ over there, I see him in the back hiding. Best PR guy in the business, by the way. I don't care if that gets me in trouble. He's number 1 in my books. Him and Ryan. I'll say Ryan too because Ryan's here. But I will say that I always feel bad that you guys come. You know that you have to come all the way up here. So it means a lot that you would come.
ESPN, this is your
know.
show.
I know.
You got to think too, like watching you coming up. Obviously, your interviews. You interviewed everybody. I mean, that's the only content that we had really back in the day, and it's still cool for me to come here. And you know, probably the first time I saw you, I got starstruck. So
Wow,
Yeah, of
that
course.
is big.
And imagine, I mean, see, for a lot of the people that hate on me, they don't follow MMA the way I did, and they're not MMA fans, you know. So coming up, watching the cards, at Fight Week, you would be the guy that does all the interviews. We would watch all yours. What was it? It was MMA funny back then too.
Yeah.
And watch all your stuff. So obviously it's very cool for me too. You know, as much as people like to give me shit and say I'm cocky and all this, but you know, I'm very appreciative of the spot that I'm in and humble. So yeah, it's obviously cool for me too. You know, it's not like I'm coming here and like helping you out. So it's very cool, you know.
You're welcome anytime.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Dillon.
so
There
much.
he is. Dillon Danis returning on June 14th now. No longer May 11th. He's coming to New York City, Madison Square Garden.
Hello, show.
There is the resume. So now you're going to swap with
Chael
P.
What was
Let's
the last card at MSG? That was Bisbing and GSP?
No, it was DC Derek Lewis.
Say we beat the numbers?
I think so.
I think so too.
There he goes, Dillon Danis. And in a matter of moments, we're going to be joined by the one and only Chael Sonnen. So Dillon is returning to action on June 14th. He just broke the news right over there. And I am looking forward to the Bellator event on June 14th, MSG. It's always fun when a big-time event comes to Madison Square Garden. He's fighting a relatively unknown fighter named Max Humphrey. Same opponent coming over now from May 11th. They haven't officially announced the main event for this card, but Chael versus Lyoto Machida is on the card. And also, we reported last week that Neiman Gracie is going to fight the winner of the Rory McDonald-John Fitch fight coming up end of the month, April 27th. The winner of that. Look at this. Look at this.
Were you in the middle of a promo?
I was just trying to build up the card. I was actually like vamping.
McDonald.
Vamping,
Is that
as
what you're
they say.
saying?
Yes.
McDonald?
Let me do something here if you don't
You know,
mind.
Fitch can ruin that whole. Fitch can ruin everything. I'm.
Can we hug? I mean, it'd be nice to get a hug.
That's wonderful.
How are you?
I love the hug. Thank you. Hey,
It's nice to have you. As I break my...
Miss Claudia says hello, by the way. She's watching your show. Shout out to...
Your mom is here?
No, she's not here. She's watching at home.
Oh, okay.
She said tell Ariel hi.
It's nice to have you here.
Thank you, buddy.
Was it... So, be honest.
Okay.
Because I'm very neurotic when it comes to these things.
No, you... What?
Dillon said it was a bit of a nuisance to come up here for my show.
Because of the drive?
Yeah. Was it annoying?
No, the drive wasn't at all, but let me speak for Dillon real fast, because maybe he didn't tell you this. He gets car sick.
Yeah, he told me.
Yeah.
So I felt really
We had
bad.
to pull over at one point.
Oh, he didn't say that?
Yeah, well, he said something about he even wanted to lay down. I didn't know if that was an exaggeration, but he said something about, hey, I might have to get off this car and then lay down. They brought us on a party bus.
Okay.
And by party bus, when they said they booked this thing, I'm thinking, wow, cool. You know, some of those have flat screens in them and you're playing video games or something like that. Now, I don't really know where they got the term party bus. It was just a great, big, rough and tumble and bumpy bus. Can we talk about what really matters?
What?
Ronda Rousey.
Oh, WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
I was there.
Oh, did you
went.
go?
Yes.
Where is MetLife Arena?
MetLife Stadium is in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's
It is
where
Jersey.
the Giants and Jets play. It's literally 15 minutes without traffic from New York City, but obviously there's a lot of traffic, Lincoln Tunnel. 80,000 plus. Did you watch?
Oh yeah.
Where were you here? Well, were you in
I
New
was
York?
in Times Square.
Where
Yeah,
did you
I was in
watch?
the room. I watched it from the room. Yeah.
Okay. So can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
Show was way too long. Oh my God.
you for
By the
saying
time I went to bed, it was 2 a.m.
There was 1,000 matches.
I was dying.
19 hours.
I was sitting next to someone and it was like 10:30 and I'm used to like cards ending at 11.
Right.
And he's like, there's 5 more matches. What?
I don't believe it.
Becky Lynch and Ronda are walking out at midnight.
Right.
This is worse than like UFC on FS1.
Which had big spacing.
Yes.
I mean, they've done over 6 hours shows. Listen, Ariel, I thought it really did. I thought a high moment was that Lesnar jerked the curtain. I thought that was a high moment.
Okay, so what's your theory there?
With that,
I have a theory. What's
I would
your
love
theory?
to hear yours, but I'm sure they're similar. I mean, the DC match, right?
No, but why did he jerk the curtain?
Oh man, I think they were throwing him right out the door.
You think so?
Yeah, and he went over clean. He went over fast.
You think it was his call to jerk the curtain or their call?
No, their call.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because my theory was he was like, okay, we're not ending the show. Put me on first so I could get the hell out of here. Like really, like what Paul said was a little bit, truthful.
Sure.
You know what
Shot
I'm saying?
with him just a little bit.
That was a good promo.
I thought it was great.
We're gonna go to Las Vegas where we are ultimately respected more or something like that.
Yeah, I just don't know if I fully agree with that. I mean, you could also send him out on top and with the championship. I think that he's fought in the UFC before in some regard.
Then
like
you're
that.
holding the belt hostage.
Yeah, unless he's going to lay out for a really long time. But I mean, what were they talking about? August for DC?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I would think he could make a cameo here or there, pop in. I don't know. There's many ways to skin the cat. I just thought that was a highlight of the evening, but then was met like any high with a low of my goodness, 5 hours.
Yes, too long.
5 hours until the helicopter hits, and
Kofi Kingston, cool.
Yeah, I thought so.
You didn't love it.
I didn't love it, but I'm very impressed with his talent, particularly with his size and how well he's done and got over. I also find him to be a very charismatic guy.
Yes,
There's
yes.
something to watch when he's on TV.
Triple H Batista, boring.
A little bit boring.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Two guys who are almost 50 years old getting 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I agree with that. Triple H's entrance was definitely something special. What do you do with that car after that? Like, does he get to keep that?
Every time he does that. I mean, I'm tired. Honestly, I was talking yesterday. I meant like this guy is well respected as an executive now, right? Like he is actually doing great things. He's talking to like business people. What does he need this for?
Right.
Why is he doing this?
Sure.
It almost devalues him as an executive. I know his dad or his father-in-law did it forever, but like.
When he says he does what's best for business, I would challenge him on that. I would be very surprised if he and his $1 million entrances and all that he put. I would be very surprised if he versus Batista was the big needle mover. I can tell you it was not for me.
Right.
I thought Ronda looked great. And I thought.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think she deserves a lot of credit. She came into something that was very hard, that is very different technique-wise, that she was very green at. And she also understood the psychology of the crowd. And I might add, I think her husband is an absolute natural as well.
Right.
I think when Travis Brown is on camera for what limited time he is, he seems to know where the cameras are. He seems to have the right facial expressions, and you seem to buy it.
Do you think he's going to transition?
Oh yeah, I think they're breaking him in now.
You think so?
I think so.
Wow. So you don't think she's done?
Ronda?
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
You don't buy this?
No.
Because that's the word that she's done.
Why?
Family, baby.
Oh, okay. Not because she was upset about not going over.
No.
Oh, okay. No, I actually didn't hear that. There was actually a very cool spot when she double armbarred them. I had a hope spot moment of going, oh my gosh, she's going to go over bigger. She's going to have them. They're going to have her beat both girls at once. Didn't see that coming. There was just a minute. Now that would have been a very foolish thing to do, but there was a moment where I go, oh my gosh, she's going to double armbar.
Especially if she's going to take a break, you can't have her go over. But they're known to swerve. You've always been a Becky Lynch hater.
Well,
you're not a big
hater
fan.
isn't fair.
You called her like a jabroni.
Yeah, she was a jobber, but
Yes.
I did not I was wrong on that though. Yeah, I mean I was wrong on who I. Yeah. I think
It's
she's
the
done a
third
very
time
good
in
job.
5 days you've admitted that you're wrong to me.
But you have to understand, it's not necessarily an absolute statement because things can change. I mean, Stone Cold wasn't over until he was over.
Right.
Yeah, he said. So
you agree she's over?
John 3:6. Oh, the man is great. Yeah, she just headlined WrestleMania.
I would argue she peaked a little too soon.
Okay.
I think the momentum was lost a little bit on
Was
the
she
way.
the right person to go over last night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't the right finish.
Okay, I would agree.
It was a skin of your teeth type of finish. I needed a clean 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. That was just like, it was very anticlimactic. Now it's different when it's Steamboat Macho Man, when it's like this back and forth and small package. You remember that WrestleMania 3? I mean, that was legendary stuff.
Sure.
This one felt like it kind of came out of nowhere.
Or
I think the crowd was dead. They were tired.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, well, it wasn't a wonderful match, but they were tired. I've done 2 of those shows live, and Ariel, it is just such a long day.
Yeah.
You get there at 3 o'clock, you get out at midnight. You got to do some trips to the bathroom. These arenas are huge. When I was in Dallas, it was a half a mile walk.
You went to 2 Manias.
I went to 2. I went to Sacramento.
Sacramento.
I drove all the way. Was it San Jose?
Oh, Santa Clara.
Santa Clara, 2014.
In the big stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah, Santa Clara.
Santa Clara, that doesn't sound right. Money in the Bank, when Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank?
Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah, Santa Clara.
What's it, Santa Clara?
We'll ask
I feel
CJ.
like it's Sacramento. I really think I'm right.
I don't
on
have a
Sacramento.
stadium of that size.
Okay. You sound confident on this. It definitely started with an S. But it wasn't Santa Clara. This is the point. It can just be a really long day.
Yeah.
But I thought that Ronda did a really good job. I thought that, and I do think Travis is a natural. I want to ask you one thing, though. Hitman.
Yeah.
Shoot or work?
So you let me do, for the audience, you're referring to the fan who attacked him on Saturday?
Yes, at the Hall of Fame induction.
I think it was a shoot.
Okay.
I think it was a disgusting shoot.
It was disgusting.
It really bothered me.
Yeah.
Like that is royalty.
That guy has an MMA record, by the way.
Yeah, amateur, right?
Yeah, 2-1.
But this is I mean, to me, Bret Hart, my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite athletes, period. To see, cancer survivor, stroke survivor. The guy's honoring his brother-in-law who died recently, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. What are you doing, man?
Give him his moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
No.
What do you think? You think it's a work?
No, I do not, and largely because of one, the outcome.
Okay.
But two, Bret went down like a sack of potatoes. It wasn't a great moment. The WWE certainly didn't set it up, which means Bret would have had to go into business for himself and go, hey, get me over and come in. And no, he looked like a guy that got tackled by a bum MMA fighter.
Can I tell you a story that I think you would appreciate?
Yeah.
So I have two boys, Oliver and Walter. And I've been trying 6 and 5. I've been trying to get them into pro wrestling because I feel like it's something we could bond over. Yeah. I don't really watch it that much, but I feel like this would be a good time to bring them along. Yeah. They want nothing to do with it. And my friend, two of my friends, Mark Ramundi, John Pollock, who are MMA journalists as well, said, you got to watch this New Japan show on Saturday at MSG, Ring of Honor. You heard about this?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, what am I going to watch? I don't watch WWE. I'm going to watch. They said, just do it. So I ordered it. I sat there and I sat with them and I said, let's watch this together. And they watched the first match. It was with Jeff Cobb. You know Jeff Cobb?
Yep.
Competed against Yoel Romero. And I think something happened.
They liked it.
I think something clicked. And they not only did they like it, they wanted to stay up till 10:30. They never stay up that late. And then in the morning, they asked me to watch what they missed. I don't know what it was about that show, but I think something really clicked.
Well, and I have not watched the show. I certainly know what New Japan is, and I know they're doing great tickets and great numbers over here. I had the same experience. I'm trying to get Thero into pro wrestling for the same reason that you said, is you can build some memories and it's something to watch. And, I tried to rig this system a couple of different ways. I got him the Rock doll and the John Cena doll, and he plays with those, and he likes to say, if you smell, he likes to do that thing. He won't sit and watch a show, so I took him to a show and had great seats. We were like third row.
Oh, wow.
And we left early.
Really?
Just lost his attention.
Wanted nothing
I
to
think
do
he
with
might
it.
have been a little bit too young.
How
I will
young at the
definitely
time?
revisit this. 3 years old at the time.
Yeah,
I will
it's
definitely
tough.
revisit this, but there was something about the city. He was bored.
Were you crushed?
Yeah, I was a little let down. Yeah, I kind of had this special night planned. And we had a dinner. I had a car take. We kind of had a fun night.
Oh, man. I would revisit around 6.
I think so.
First grade, something like that. Should we talk about your fight?
If we must.
You don't want to.
We can.
Lyoto Machida, June 14th.
Lyoto Machida.
You're back. By the way, for a guy who doesn't like New York, you seem to fight here quite often.
They keep bringing me back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did Barclays. I did MSG. Back to MSG, yeah.
No, you did Long Island.
I think that's right. Wasn't it called the Barclays Center?
I think it's owned by the same company, but it's the NYCB. Anyway, what do you think?
No one knows for sure.
Yeah.
There's no way to find out. It's one of those things. We don't know where we fought at. I'm into it. I'm into it. Machida seems like a perfectly nice guy. I would not try to manufacture some kind of heat there. To act as though I don't have a resentment that he kicked Randy Couture's tooth out and into his career is also not true. I've been wanting to get my hands on Lyoto Machida for a long time, and maybe that didn't bother Randy, but it bothered me.
Wow. This is legit.
Very legit.
This is a shoot. Yep. Wow. That was Randy's last fight, UFC 129, Rogers Center, Toronto. Front kick to the face. Tooth flew out.
Yeah.
Where were you? Were you at that fight?
No, I was home.
Wow. And that pissed you off?
Yeah,
That's your guy.
Pissed me off. I mean, it's not like Machida did anything wrong, if I'm being really fair here. But yeah, I wanted to avenge that one. Yeah, that was my guy.
And it feel like, I have to be honest, when I found out about the fight, I actually went to your record and searched for his name because I feel like your paths have your careers have intertwined. But I was like, oh, no, they haven't fought. I just wanted to make sure. It wasn't like, if you tell me right now, Vitor Belfort, no, I know you haven't fought. But for some reason, I was like, did he ever fight Lyoto Machida back in the day? Because I feel like you guys have been around the circuit for a long time.
And I'll tell you, you're close on one thing. I had a fight lined up with Machida.
Okay.
For about 24 hours. And it got put together by Lorenzo. Lorenzo, hey, I want to see that fight. Lorenzo never called. Lorenzo never match made, at least for me. Lorenzo stepped in, went to my manager, said, want him to fight Machida. Okay. Go to practice that night, work with Clayton. And I was kind of swallowing a little deep. You know, Machida's the wrestler killer. If you go look at his record, whether it was Bader or Rashad or Randy or but for some reason, wrestlers have a really hard time with him. And it's not wrestling. Like, he doesn't get in wrestling mixes and he can defend himself. He can keep that distance and just nobody can get a hold of him. Boom. And he said, right. I mean, he's just a really hard fight. So I went to the gym and we were working on it for one night. Got up the next day. Dana called. Mad. And says, we're not doing that fight. I didn't make the. Why are you yelling at me?
Right.
When did you not fight Machida? You're a 185 pounder. He's a 205 pounder. You're both. Why would I put you guys together? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I did have Machida for about.
What period of your career is this?
I believe I ended up fighting Stan instead, so it would have been that time.
UFC 136.
Yeah, it would have been that time. Good job. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the comeback fight.
It would have been the comeback fight, and I was going to have it against Machida. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know why that whole happened. I don't know anything more to that story than what I just said, but I did have Machida on my mind for at least one night's sleep.
You versus Brian Stann, my least favorite fight in UFC history.
Really?
Hated that fight.
Because of the lead-in, or you didn't enjoy the contest itself?
I didn't like the story.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Here you are, biggest heel in the game. You're coming off the time off, the suspension. You can't. No one wants to get behind you making fun of Brian Stann.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Make fun of a hero?
Yes.
Wait.
So I felt like they gave you nothing to work with on that one. You know what I mean?
That part of it was very tough. You know,
I hated that fight. I remember when they announced, I was like, "What do you guys miss? You guys are missing the point here. We like when Chael makes fun of these fighters, X, Y, and Z, right? We like the Anderson heat. We like this, that, Vanderlei. No one wants to see Brian Stann ridiculed.
There was nothing on that.
It really bothered me.
I'm going to see Brian Friday.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm going to see him in Atlanta.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's home.
You're going to Atlanta.
Yeah, going to go out there.
Yeah.
Kelvin and Adesanya. Good fight.
Yeah. Poirier.
Yeah, of course, Poirier and Max.
Are you working that one?
I'm going to work that one.
With me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do Poirier and Max go into Khabib? Is that guaranteed? I know that's what has been said. I'm asking you your opinion.
Yeah.
Does that get pulled? Because I have to think. I mean, come on, in fairness, if Conor makes...
No, I think it's going to happen.
The winner of that will take on Khabib.
Especially if Max.
Okay.
In Abu Dhabi. That's what they want.
Really?
What a scene that's going to be. Yeah. How about that?
How'd you get that detail? Did that just come out?
What do you mean? No. What do you talking? Who,
I haven't read that.
Who do you think? You haven't read it anyway.
No, I know I'm with the master right
I'm
now.
breaking the news to you right now.
Breaking news, though, or did this already
I'm
come
sharing
out?
insider info.
No, Abu Dhabi.
You're going to do one of your little YouTube videos. You know, you got me in all kinds of heat with the John Jones, Stipe Miocic thing. I think everyone just, you know, like I just said to you that Stipe and his team, they're looking for a fight, and John Jones could be that fight, that non-title fight. And I think everyone said that I reported it or something.
No, I might have said I got this from you. I might have misstated that, but I liked that fight, by the way. Well, I don't remember how that worked. Maybe
and then John, of course, you know, ran with it for like 10 hours.
A day or two,
yeah,
and he had the Santos fight. I was into that fight, though.
Yeah, so was
I mean, I was into the parody. I was into breaking John into the division. I don't think there's only one way to break John into the heavyweight division, which has to be against DC. I did think that until I heard the Stipe. I go, wait a minute. There's something to see there. That's a great way. That's a great way in. And if it got Stipe back to the tape, it makes a lot of sense.
Can I ask about those?
So I fell for it. I mean, I fell for something that wasn't
it was really
accurate because,
thing.
yeah, it kind of lined up a little bit.
It was really a thing. Stipe only really wants one fight, DC, but could have been enticed to fight John, but it never really became anything. Those videos, when did that all start?
What videos?
The videos that you do on YouTube.
Oh, I started a couple years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, I started making those a couple years ago for like Twitter, but then you had like Twitter rules where it had to be 60 seconds or 30 seconds, so then I found like a longer way to do it in different platforms, but a couple years.
Why did you decide to do it?
Well, I enjoy it. I mean, I like talking about the sport, but
Okay.
I mean, ultimately it was a business decision.
Right, yeah.
Right,
I know, because you're the only one who really does it in this game.
Yeah, in fairness, but yeah, it was real easy. I actually met a kid. I put an ad on Craigslist of all places. Didn't know how to find a video guy and editor and all this stuff. I put it on Craigslist. Found a guy that was a grad student at the local college.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so that's who does your videos?
Yeah, he comes over and makes the videos. Checks the equipment out from Portland State and the whole bit, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, and then on the road, you just have like another local kid do it?
That's right. Yeah, I try to find somebody from the road, or sometimes you know, friends Casey and Esther.
But that's crazy to me.
I'll see them in Atlanta.
I find that crazy that you are actually going on Craigslist.
Yeah, to find and post it in
like Chael Sonnen himself, or do you have an assistant do this for you?
No, I did it myself, and I thought, well, I'm probably not going to get very far with this, but it's a good place to start. I don't know where to start. I think this is a good place to start. Had a very first guy replied, boom, went with him, been with him ever since.
You ever have any lemons?
I have a couple of times on the road. Yeah, a couple of times on the road, but the road's a little bit tough, Ariel, because you're not in a treated room. I mean, I'll be sitting in a hotel room, so it's very important that you have good microphones,
right?
You know, for podcasts or something like that, and you know. it's not treated, so it's tough. And yes, I've had guys with bad equipment.
Right.
What are we talking about?
I like this.
Did I tell you I'm fighting Machida?
I find this
June 14th, Madison Square Garden, main event. The King is back. Did I tell you, undefeated in Madison Square Garden, coming back to 205 pounds.
That's huge.
Could you imagine how exciting that must be for
Very
everybody
exciting.
involved? And Machida's moving up. In some regards, I guess he's moving up because he was declared by Coker the top contender for Machida's belt. And then it ended up, so Machida got matched up. He's going to go to that fight. And then the winner's going to take on Mousasi.
Right.
Or I apologize, Machida. The winner of the Mousasi fight will take on Machida. And Machida moved back up to 205. They say he's moving up, but he was the world champion at 205.
Right.
I feel like he's not moving up. I feel like
He's fighting Carvalho.
when he moved it
June
down.
22nd.
Hold on. You're talking about Mousasi. No, you're very close, though, and that's what I was going to say, and that's why I did it. I'm stuck on Carvalho as well. It's not.
Oh, not Carvalho. Lovato.
Thank you very much.
Carvalho.
Yes. Well, Rafael, right?
Rafael,
you had it right. But yes, he's going to take on Lovato.
That's right. Speaking of June 22nd, in this very chair, just last week, I don't know if you saw this, great moment in the history of this program, Josh Barnett signing his Bellator contract on the air.
Yes.
Did you see that?
I did see that, and I actually spoke to him the day before about doing a submission underground match, and he was interested, but he had a couple of balls in the air, and he said, I actually go on an Ariel show tomorrow at 10 a.m., and walked me through his whole schedule, and got to catch a flight to Russia and go to beat the streets. I mean, he's busy as can be. So I don't think he knew. I think from the time I talked to him, the time he got here, that all came together. And I suspect, as I think you do, that's specifically to fight Fedor, correct?
No, I think he wants a heavyweight title shot. I think it's to fight Ryan Bader.
Go right into the...
I think one and
likely
then...
to get that fight? Yeah, he's got to fight someone.
How do you feel about that? Him versus Bader?
I've got no problem with anywhere Josh Barnett wants to fight, but we were promised him versus Fedor a number of years ago in Affliction. That's a fight we wanted to see. I know Coker, because he came out and said he wanted to see Fedor versus Krokop Part 2. With Krokop retiring suddenly, I just think it opens the door for Josh, and I think that's a really compelling fight.
You
I
still
really
have interest in Fedor fighting?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, with the right guys, I mean, for anybody, I guess you would say that, but yeah, very much so. There's something special when Fedor fights, and he's got a special skill set, and he's got a chin that's been tested a few times, and that's a fair complaint as well.
Of course, that was your last fight, Fedor, Long Island. Do you regret doing the tournament?
No. Oh, no. I love tournaments.
You enjoy
heavyweight was a tall order.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
In terms of that, heavyweight was a tall order. But no, I was very much up for the competition. And the tournament is just so pure and fair. I mean, it takes all the politics. I'm actually very good at the politics. When you have politics in the sport, I understand them. I can deal with the bureaucracy and I can get some good opportunities. But I also can really tip my hat to the fact that you take it out and the right guy is going to be left standing. There is nobody on the roster that argues that Bader is the legitimate champion. And he earned that.
Right.
But
the idea of fighting heavyweights at the time, did it end up like at the time was it a lesser of a task than it ended up being? Did you notice the difference when you were fighting these guys?
I really
in particular Fedor, right? Because he's a true heavyweight.
He was a true heavyweight. He moved really well, really powerful guy. I remember being in the cage when Rampage walked in and turning my head and seeing him come through the door and looking back to my corner. Whose idea was this? How did we get into this mess? And then Michael C's giving the announcement, you get, are you ready? Are you ready? We might as well.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where, that size at some point did matter, maybe even just optically. But,
right.
Intimidations are really, you look at it and go, oh, what's this?
How much longer you want to do this for?
How much longer do I want to do it for? Another 10 years.
For real?
How much longer will I do it for? It won't be another 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I go back to Randy Couture. Dan Henderson would be a fine example. But I admire those guys for being able to extend their career. I think there's a real skill in that. There's a lifestyle you have to live. There's a discipline you have to live. And there's things you have to do to be able to make your body and your mind and want to do that over and over again. And I really admire those guys that were able to do that. I think it's a feather in your cap.
Well, you just turned 42.
42.
Again, happy birthday.
42 years young.
Yes, that's right. I heard you're a big birthday guy. You like when people wish you happy birthday.
I like when they wish me birthday.
And I think that you thought I forgot.
That's because you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
What are you talking about?
And Brittany forgot, and Elisa forgot, and Elizabeth forgot, and Glenn still hasn't mentioned it for the record.
Wow. For those that don't know, you just rifled off the entire team here at ESPN MMA.
Charlie remembered.
He's a legend.
Charlie is a legend.
By the way, Brittany says you forgot her birthday as well.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Brittany. But here's the thing. I didn't want to say it beforehand Because I wanted the reaction. I wanted the pop.
Oh, what an
of surprising
excuse!
you. Yes. How else would I have known?
What incredible excuse making! This wasn't like a big deal.
That was great stuff.
How long have you been sitting on this lie? You knew I was going to come in. You're going to tell me a lie to cover the fact that you missed.
How did I have that music ready for you? At the top and the bottom, if it wasn't planned in advance.
You handle the music now.
I picked the cut.
Yeah, is that right? All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
I mean, the headphones kind of threw me off if I'm going to be serious.
I looked a little silly in those, I must say. I still don't have that fixed, by the way. I'm going to be with you, live with you on Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, we got to get that fixed.
Well, they're telling me that your IFB is being sent to your house as we speak, so hopefully
I'm excited.
No headphones.
Maybe that's the issue.
But I wanted to say that because I know you care a lot about birthdays, so I want to say I did not forget, but it was a conscious decision on my part to announce it to the world on the show so I could get your natural reaction. But I really wanted to know, how was your birthday? Like, what did you do?
I had a great birthday. So the way it worked is anything that I want to eat, I got to design the meal. So I had my favorite meal, homemade fried chicken, mashed potatoes, enough gravy to drown in, rolls, homemade jelly. It was great. I mean, I ate.
Who made all this?
Miss Brittany.
Wow.
Yeah, it was delicious.
That's your wife.
Yeah. She actually got help. Her dad pitched in, and both the grandmas were there when I showed up. But they worked hard.
You did no work?
Beautiful. No, I didn't know work. It's my birthday.
Yeah.
On her birthday, I will do all the work. Her birthday's around the corner.
Like, what does she ask for her birthday?
Well, so it's kind of up to me.
Okay.
And she plays it real low key, like, nothing's wrong, but believe me, plenty of things could go wrong if I don't put effort.
Right.
I don't have to spend a lot of money, but there needs to be effort involved, and there will be.
Okay.
She's with me on this trip.
Oh, wow.
Which oddly does not count as a birthday present.
Well, is it that soon?
Her birthday is next week, 17th.
Why doesn't this count?
I don't know.
New York City?
I asked the same thing.
You going to Atlanta together too?
Going to Atlanta. Yeah.
This is a birthday present.
I feel like it is.
Yes.
Thank you for that. I do feel like it is.
Two, metropolitan cities.
Are you going to the press conference tomorrow? Machida and I?
I am not.
What am I supposed to do with that?
I don't know.
In all fairness, what am I supposed to do? I mean, Coker's paid a bunch of money. I assume it's at the Garden because that's where the last.
I actually think it's at the Viacom head
Very
office.
good.
Yeah.
What is supposed to happen there? Like Machida sits up there and looks like a willing doofus,
right?
With a boyish smile and you cry. And then what do I do? Oh well, he's always been a really nice guy to me, but come out and watch it anyway because. What are we going to do?
Right.
Why are we there? I remember doing that same thing with Fedor, and somebody asked him a question. What are you hoping to get from that response?
It's tough.
Yeah, what do you want from that?
Right.
Remember I said take the Z train downtown, ask that question of the Brooklyn Bridge. It was a great line, but it's the same thing with Machida. Oh, I'd respect. And it's not about respect, Machida. You kicked out Randy's tooth, now I'm going to come after yours.
That's right.
That's what this is.
That's a great story.
You want to fight? We're going to fight.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you to come up to 205. He accepted this fight before I ever even got offered the fight.
Really?
You think I'm not going to be insulted by that?
They went to him first?
I guess they went to him first. You want to know when they came to me? Try this on for a second. Never. I have never accepted the Machida fight. I have never been offered the Machida fight. You broke that story at ESPN.com, and here I am. You don't got to say my name twice, and I don't say that to make it sound like, there was a misorganization there. No, I mean it as a compliment. You don't have to ask me. Wow. I don't give a damn. You went to Machida. Machida says, I'll fight Chael. I'll go up to 205 to fight Chael. Excuse me. What are you thinking? You have a title fight waiting for you with Masasi. By the way, a division of which I was king, a division of which I left on my own, a division of which since then I fought 4 world champions at 2 different weight classes, split the deck, won 2 of those and lost it. But I'm just saying, I will return to 205 and Dad will come home and the mice will all scurry. You're going to come up to 205 and put that title shot on the line. You're putting it all on the line, by the way, Machida. You don't come up to 205 and go, I'm going to beat Chael, and then I'll pick between Bader, and I'll pick between Musasi. Excuse me. I'll pick between Bader, and I'll pick between Musasi. This all comes on the line. And now he wants to come out to a little press conference tomorrow? He flew in from California? I don't need you there, Machida, because you're not going to do anything anyway, and nobody's going to show up on June 14th to see you. They're going to show up to see me.
The Chael show.
That's the reality.
Right.
So what am I supposed to do? He seems like a perfectly nice guy. I don't want to manufacture conflict. I don't like that.
No.
Tickets go on sale. I got a big problem with the guy. I don't actually have a problem with the guy. I do have a problem with the fact that he accepted a fight, moved up to 205 pounds, thinks he still gets the right to claim his shot at Gegard, which was my division that I left. Nobody threw me out of that division. I willingly left that division. And now he's going to talk about, I'm going to go back and get that. You're not going to do a damn thing. You're not going to do anything. And by the way, don't accept fights with me behind my back. Don't do that either.
I have to say I'm a little bit bothered.
Ed Soros should have called me. They should have done this. Hey, by the way, we got a phone call. We're thinking about accepting this. We don't want to upset you.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Bellator didn't ask you. I feel like
They
you're
don't have to ask me. I'm not saying that against Bellator. They don't have to ask me. I fought Shogun Rua in 2013. I'd never been offered that. I've never accepted a fight against Shogun. I've never even been offered a fight against Shogun. Just by example. I like being that guy. Right. I like the Dana. I like the Scott. I got no problem with it. Don't go accept a fight behind my back and then think, oh, and by the way, then I'll pick between our. You're not gonna do a damn thing.
Right.
I'll go down to 185 and you won't even be in the picture. How about that? You want to play that card?
Right.
You want to play that card? Because if you want to, let's just do it tomorrow when Coker's right there. Let's just ask him straight up. Right now, you can make 85 and I can make 85. Who you putting in, Scott? All of a sudden, Machida's looking for an opponent.
I'm getting flashbacks of the first time we did one of these, interviews on my show prior to UFC 104 when you were very frustrated, right? That to me, that's the birth of Chael P.
In many ways.
You were very frustrated.
Yeah.
Yushin Okami wasn't doing his part.
Yeah.
What is he there for?
Right.
Takes two to tango. We're trying to fight for a number one contender spot, and you're not saying a word.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the stakes are much bigger here, and you're fighting main event Madison Square Garden. But I was actually starting to get flashbacks. I was getting nostalgic.
Well, I'll tell you what, Okami and I couldn't be any closer. I mean, what a tremendous friend I met. But I had a very good right to be upset, Ariel. Just to remind you of the stakes back then. Okay, I had already beaten Paulo Filo, who was the number one ranked guy. I'm now number 9. Beat the number 1 guy, but I'm the number 9 ranked guy. Okami's the number 2 ranked officially. By ESPN.com and SportsIllustrated.com, he is ranked number 2. I am ranked number 9. We're 2 top 10 fighters on an undercard.
Yeah.
An undercard.
Untelevised prelim.
Untelevised prelim.
Days? Yes.
Fighting in front of I walk in the arena, no one's there.
Yeah.
I think that's. I mean, I had a right in fairness to be a little bit upset about.
Oh
that.
yeah, but it was the first time for me that someone spoke about the business that way. No one really cared.
Sure.
At least for me. Like, no one spoke about it that openly. Like, hey, man, I need you to help sell this fight, too. Because no one cares about this.
Sure.
We're not even on TV.
Right.
Like, the fancy days don't even understand what that means. Now you get it on ESPN Plus or Facebook or Twitter or this or that. No TV.
Right.
I don't even know if I've ever seen that fight on TV in any capacity. I was there, but I don't know if I've actually seen it on a tube.
I believe they actually piped it in somewhere in the show. I think it did.
Oh, later on?
Light of day
Okay.
somewhere.
All right.
Yeah, because my phone I got some text messages. So
Right.
somebody somewhere saw it. But yeah, that was a frustrating time. There's different parts of this sport, and guys miss it all the time. I hear guys always talking about title fights. I love that. I love title fight. I get the whole thing. But there's other records you need to go after. Right. I mean, if you're on a card, your placement on that card matters, and you got to compete for it. And the closer you can get to the end of the night, right? I mean, that's the finish. Wherever you can get, though. If you got to start at main card and work your way. But, I mean, those are big deals. They're really big. Who's going to walk first? Who's going to walk second? Who's going to have the big face on the poster? Who's going to have the little face? When you go to the press conference, who's going to get 10 questions and who's going to get 3? But these are all things that you have to compete for. And if you have a partner, whether you're going to go fight each other or not, you guys are partners, at least for one night. You are in business together. Yeah, and when one guy doesn't see the stakes like that, doesn't care if he gets asked questions, doesn't care if he walks first or second, doesn't care where he's on the card. Man, it's frustrating to the highest of levels. You and I are partners. Imagine if I show up late every day and I don't have anything to say. You're going, hey, Chael, I'm going to have to get another partner. Yes, you would.
Who's the A-side in your fight?
Machida.
Why?
I don't have any idea why he is.
Is that legit?
Yes.
He's coming out second?
He will walk out second. The ticket's already Machida versus Sonnen.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's a slap in the face.
It is a slap in the face.
I thought for sure you'd be the A-side.
Yeah, he's coming out falsely claiming that he's the top contender at middleweight, which he is, unless I want to go take it for him. The other side of the coin, I'm the number 1 contender at 205 pounds right now. Right now, at 205 pounds, I am officially the number 1 contender. He's moving up from 185, got in front of the story to the media to tell him that he's the top contender, and nobody went to check the rankings at 205 pounds, the weight class we happen to be fighting in.
Right. So you win this fight, you're getting Bader next.
I could have Bader next.
You could.
I could have Bader next.
If you want.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that. Bader right now has other,
Sure.
I want to be respectful of Bader. I really do. I want to fight Ryan Bader, but I do want to be respectful just because he went through the tournament. I just think he did it the hard way. I think he had a hard road. I think he came through it. I just want to give him a little bit of his moment to shine.
I appreciate
There is a time I will put the headlines on Ryan Bader. I promise you that.
Oh, but you got stuff?
For a moment, I really do think Brian deserves the respect of the sport.
But you have ammunition.
Oh, I'm coming after him.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, not personal stuff.
Sure.
But yes, I'm going to fight with Ryan Bader.
By the way, lest we forget, just last night the champion came out first in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Right, Charlotte, Ronda, and then so in this case maybe they're doing the same thing with you. It's a little weird that they
the
did
old
that.
sourpuss. I mean, you could see Charlotte's face even in the helicopter. That was not the face of a girl getting ready to go over.
Right.
No, it was a big tell. She looked down. By the way, where was she when Lynch and Ron were fighting? Did she like get thrown out of the ring?
Yeah,
Is that what happened?
Chilling, yeah.
Okay.
What about the Miz's dad? I mean, he's got to work on that form.
Yeah.
It was a little weird, right?
The Miz is kind of cool.
Yeah,
he's annoying. He's annoying to the highest of levels, which I think is a skill that he has just crafted over 10 years. He's great. The Miz is great.
Let me tell people.
Have you met him?
I've not met him, no. I just want to tell people, in case they're watching this for free, if you like what you're seeing here, we actually have a show together. It's called Ariel and the Bad Guy. It's on ESPN Plus. We're actually going to be doing some work together in Atlanta, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Has it been great? Has it been everything?
It's a city inside of Georgia.
Right. The last 10 months or so, working with me like true partners.
Yeah.
This has been probably like the high point of your professional career, right? It's been great. Let's be honest. Initially, like off the bat, you were testing. You weren't happy with it. You didn't like my take.
Wait a minute.
You felt like I was too big for my britches. I was talking about the business things. You didn't like that.
That doesn't annoy me. That would still annoy me today if you did that. Yes.
There were a couple times where I thought you were legit mad at me.
Oh, I was legit mad.
Yeah.
I was legit
like fuming mad.
Yeah. Well,
Excuse me.
Yes. Excuse me. But there is a time when I start talking about the business that you need to humble yourself and sit back and go, my gosh, this guy knows so much. I could really stand and learn something. Instead, you would argue with me. When I have the numbers, I see, like, I'm not coming to you with an opinion. I'm telling you and everybody else watching, this is how the business works. And yes, I do feel that you shoved back a couple of times.
I would still shove back.
That you should have maybe been a little more appreciated, to my mind. Dylan Danis asked me about you this morning, by the way, on the way over. And he goes, hey, do you like Ariel? How's that go? And I said, oh, Ariel's great. And I said, but I will tell you, my opinion of him changed about a month ago. I said, I always thought that Ariel was just a guy that really loved the sport and just had a high energy and went out. I go, no, Ariel's got a tremendous sense of humor, and Ariel's fun to be around. And I told him the phone story.
The phone story?
When I was on my phone and it was driving you nuts, and you leaned over and said, I'm going to shove that phone. Dylan was like, whoa, he said that.
That was a real turning point for you.
That's when oh my gosh, Ariel's a cool guy.
You didn't think all this time.
Well,
We've been talking for 10 years.
Yeah, I did not know you had the sense of humor off camera that you have. Yes.
I appreciate that. I think a lot of people think I'm a bit of a dweeb, right? I think I have this reputation, but I can hang with the best of them.
In a sweet way, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
Yes. No, you have backbone. You have backbone for sure.
I appreciate that. That means a lot.
I know what you're talking about on the business side of it.
See, that's the thing.
I mean, that's.
I feel like I actually know more than you about the business.
I know that you do, and that infuriates me to the highest of levels.
What?
Infuriates me.
Really?
Yeah,
I feel like I have a PhD in this stuff now.
Really?
I think I could promote better than any promoter in this business.
I heard you say
How about that?
And I've shared with you, for $100 and a signature, you could go get a promoter's license and jump in the field. Which always seems to, I feel like that blows the sails back in my direction when I hit you with that line.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I never see you back down.
Give me 2 millionaire friends. Let's buy 3 letters.
All right.
And let's see what
now we're seeing right now. Now things are changing. So
now let's see. Let's see what I could do with it. I could build stars better than anyone in this game. What do you think of that?
I would offer to you that there's a lot more to promotion than that. But that's a key element to it, and you may be very good at that.
Fair enough.
Yes.
What about this guy saying, David Feldman, BKFC, this fight sucked. I'm going to give that guy's purse. That's horrible, right? You can't do that.
No, and I think I want to give him the benefit of the doubt in that I think he had a bad moment on TV, but no, at the highest of levels, and don't forget, we just came through the dark ages. I'm not even going to elaborate, but you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Sure.
You know about the coffee, you know the bar. It is very important that this sport is a volunteer army, not the gladiator days, not the Roman days where you must do this and you must sacrifice it and you must go through this pain. It is none of those things, and it cannot even have that appearance. And for a leader in the space, the boss over at that, to come out and say you have to do this, you don't.
Right.
You got to stay within the ropes. You got to follow the rules agreed on, and that's where it ends. And if you don't want to have the guy back, you got a business to run.
Like bare knuckle?
Do that. No, but I do have a legitimate interest in Paulie versus Artem. Mm-hmm. The actual optics of no gloves. It bothers me a little bit, and I think I'll warm up to it. I don't want to be a prude about it, but I will share with you that optically,
it's tough.
It bothered me just a little bit.
There's a great story there, though. Artem and Pauly.
Oh, that story. Yeah, I thought you meant with the lack of gloves. Oh, it's a great story.
Yeah.
Pauly's doing his part.
Yeah, both of them are.
Yeah.
You see Artem's face?
I did.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy is unbelievable.
And he came on. No sunglasses.
No sunglasses.
Just
Dillon's wearing sunglasses.
What happened? Yeah.
You like Dillon?
Dillon looks cool in them. Yeah, Dillon's great.
Yeah.
Dillon's a very nice guy.
He gets a bit of a bad rap.
Oh, I don't know if he gets a bad rap. I think he gets a fair rap.
Okay.
I mean, listen, he's a competitor.
Right.
He's looking to compete. He's not looking to come out and be nice. I mean, I hear the same thing said about Dillon that I do about Ben Askren. And they both went through, I can't stand this guy. And now Askren's over. But he hasn't changed.
Right.
He's the same guy out there ruffling feathers and calling guys out and looking for what's next and trying to build his own brand. They're doing the same thing. So don't tell me you love Ben Askren and you hate Dillon Danis. You can't.
Fair enough.
You got to love. They're doing the same thing. They're competitors.
Last thing I wanted to ask you.
What's wrong with it? I don't see what's wrong with that. Dillon comes out, says he wants to fight somebody. A promoter puts a contract in front of him. He signs it. That's the deal breaker, though, right there.
Sure.
I mean, that is the litmus test. If he comes out and talks all this trash and then won't sign the contract, well, then go ahead and hate him. Right. If he's signing the contract and he wants to compete, give me a venue and give me an opponent. Come on. That's the kind of guys we want.
Sure, of course. I don't understand why people get so upset with him. It's bizarre to me. Last thing I want to ask you, just because you are the king at this, Conor and Khabib, has it gone too far?
Yep.
It has, right? It's too much.
Yeah.
Right?
Just barely, but
really?
Yeah, just barely.
I feel like we've gone way past the line.
When I say just barely, whenever it's confined to Twitter and 140 characters, Conor did come out and delete something.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a good show of okay.
Yeah.
But then he came back the next day with the plot twist.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought just yes. I'll leave it at that.
Family, no need. Right?
No, that's right.
And what are we building towards here? There's no fight.
Well, and that's the other thing that's a little bit interesting as well. I mean, it appears that Conor is unbookable right now. It appears that he's unpromotable for whatever reason. So I do wonder what his end game is, because he is a bit of a chess player. Right. He is always after something. And I'm missing this one just a little bit, because that's when you could reel back in at any time and start back up. But if Khabib is out until September, now you're telling me that he's already on the books with either Max versus Poirier, and they've even got a venue in Abu Dhabi. I don't know where Conor fits into this thing, and most importantly, I don't know when.
Right.
Is it early next year? What does Conor do?
Targeting October, November.
Yeah. Or was he just looking to have a little bit of fun, and we're all making too much of it? That's also possible too. Maybe just sent out a tweet and that was the end of it. But to your question, and just to be direct, yes.
June 14th, Madison Square Garden, New York City. It is Chael Sonnen versus Lyoto Machida. Is this the main event? They haven't announced it.
Yes.
Okay. Dillon Danis against Max Humphrey. Any other fights? Oh, there's Neiman Gracie against...
Ariel.
I mean, I didn't know.
Now you're just being
They
silly.
didn't say.
He might walk after I walk, but, I mean, come on. And that might change in between now and then.
Right.
He came out with a fake story. He's a number one contender, so he's the A side.
Right.
I'm the top contender, 205 pounds, which happens to be the weight class that we're fighting at.
Undefeated, undisputed.
That's true.
Right. You want to go home with me?
Under the rules that I understood at the time. Sometimes I wasn't clear on the rules.
Right.
Contest. But yes, under the rules that I understood. I mean, I'll take my last fight by example. I'm not trying to make you laugh. I was told going into the Fedor fight, there was two ways to lose this contest.
Right.
Okay. Knockout or tap out. Neither of which happened.
Right.
And because of some nuance within the administrative rules, they crowned him the winner.
Yeah.
Which I think is confusing.
I think the New York
in many ways, I think that's confusing.
Yeah. Do you want to go home together?
Yeah. What do we do? What does that mean? Like dinner? Or you give me a ride?
No, they play my music and we sign off together. I don't usually do this.
Oh, I thought I was coming over to your house. I thought
no,
it's an expression.
I was trying to give the people in the back the cue.
Just got a little weird.
They're like, when are you rapping? When are you rapping?
Oh, rap it. Call it.
They run a very tight ship here.
Call it. I've had it with you. I've had it with all of you as well. Let's go.
Are you wearing an IFB?
No.
You don't hear the music.
I do not.
So this is around the time of the show where I thank everyone for watching. It's been a fun day on the program.
Hard here with you. I feel like my posture's hard. Do you hunch all day?
I have horrible posture.
But how do you do it with the mic? I feel like if I sit the way I should sit, then you can't hear me.
One of the all-time great broadcasters,
like this.
Larry King, used to have horrible posture. So I say, you know what? I just want to be comfortable. And if I'm going to sit like this...
Larry King he didn't bring to the set what I brought to the set. Okay, could you imagine that? Could you imagine what Lyoto Machida, a little 185-pounder... he's crying. He's coming in there with a gangster.
That distance.
Oh, his distance. Oh, his distance.
Thank you to all our guests. I want to thank everyone who stopped by
I think
today.
I should have had a better finish after the distance.
No, that was good.
And then I should have followed it up with, I'm going to close the distance.
That was perfect.
I was
Alistair
more just
Overeem,
annoyed. Go wrap your show.
Artem
Wrap your little show.
Lobov, Jack Hermanson, Demetrius Johnson, Israel Adesanya, Mike Perry, Alexey Oleynik, Dillon Danis, and Chael Sonnen.
That's some big.
We're going to Atlanta, but we also have a show on Wednesday too. Thanks to all of you. If you missed anything, check it out online. Back next week, same time and place until I say peace.
You know, I fought
I'm out of here.
I fought Alexey.
Yeah,
At 85.
Right.
That was a heavyweight star.
Yeah.